This is Atomic Shinobi and today I'm going to narrate first part of What If Naruto Saved Yugito from Immortal Duo. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe to this channel. Now wasting our time, let's start the story.
1 year following the Valley of the End battle, Jiraiya and Naruto lived far from Konoha. They were in the center of a 100-meter long green field that was surrounded by numerous trees. It was a good place to train because of this. They could practice taijutsu in the center of the field if they only wanted to do that. However, since it would be more difficult to avoid projectiles when you couldn't see your opponent or the direction of the projectile, they could practice their movement and dodging techniques in the trees whenever they wanted to. In addition, the majority of ninjas use trees for stealth and hiding. However, they were training a new ninjutsu today. Naruto was lying on the ground, panting from too much charka and exhaustion. He was putting the new ninjutsu Jiraiya had taught him into practice. Jiraiya said in a firm voice, "Naruto, that's enough for today. If you don't stop you might burn yourself out and won't be able to train tomorrow." He has been training since 9 this morning, so even if he does possess the Kyuubi, he is not the Kyuubi and can still exert himself excessively. Today was the only time he paused to eat. Let's see, Jiraiya thought, it's around 8, so he's been training for nearly 11 hours straight. No, Arrow. Sen and I must get stronger, Naruto said weakly and with difficulty. Jiraiya shot back a glare. "Stop calling me that boy, call me something like sensei," she said. Simply grinning, Naruto remarked, "Well, it's true." Doden yo. Naruto began to use his jutsu once more when he heard a massive crash a half-mile away. Jiraiya and Naruto are a half-mile away. As the young ninja put it, "So, guess you're already here, Hidan?" With a very arrogant tone, Hidan said, "Shut up, just hand over the girl and you won't get hurt, boy. I don't have time to be playing games with you. I know that you're strong, but you can't take us both on. You're by yourself. What odds do you have? Be smart and just leave," said the youngster with seriousness. "Ha ha ha, was that a joke? You sure know how to make a guy laugh. Guess what, since you're so proud of your fighting skills I won't even use ninjutsu or genjutsu. I'll purely use only taijutsu and kinjutsu," Hidan said in jest. The young boy shinobi answered, "You must be kidding. You know can't beat us using only taijutsu and kinjutsu." The young girl shinobi stated in a voice devoid of emotion, "If he wants an early death, then that's his choice." Hidan responded, "Oh, so the girl talks, wanna try me then?" He produced a huge three-bladed scythe as soon as he finished speaking. Hidan sprang into full stride toward the girl. The girl believed that he was quite quick, but his weapon is too slow to strike me. If he only makes use of taijutsu and kinjutsu, I can avoid his weapon all day. From above, Hidan made a diagonal swing with his scythe. By leaping into the air, the young girl shinobi easily avoided his attack. Her other teammate began to perform hand seals and yell, "Raiko go Tama no Jutsu." 5-shot lightning. As she was finishing, 5 lightning bolts erupted from his hand and began to target Hidan. Following his assault, Hidan sensed something approaching from behind and turned to see 5 lightning bolts streaking toward him. Hidan thought I wouldn't be able to avoid them, but they're so fast. Hidan raised his hands in defense of the impending assault. He felt a kick to his back while he was blocking, which caused him to drop his defensive position and take in the 5 bolts directly. Hidan dropped to the floor. She said, "Forgot about me," the man said, "Told you, you can't win with just taijutsu and kinjutsu," as Hidan rose slowly to his feet. With Hidan in the center, the girl was about 20 yards from Hidan's right side and the young shinobi was about 30 yards from Hidan's left. "Ha ha ha, I agreed to using taijutsu and kinjutsu only and you decide to use ninjutsu. What weak asses, ha ha ha. But, it doesn't matter because that was nothing anyways, I took that shot on purpose. And to tell you the truth, it was pretty weak. If that's all you have I might as well just be using taijutsu so that I can have more fun. But, I want to end this earlier so I'll stick to my previous agreement. Only taijutsu and kinjutsu," Hidan replied. "We know you didn't take that shot on purpose, Hidan. Do you think your bluff would work on us? You must be underestimating us," replied the youngster. "Believe what you want, girl, you'll see what I mean," Hidan replied. "Ready now?" 3 shurikens were hurled directly at the girl by Hidan. She easily avoided them, but she knew it was only a diversion. She saw Hidan run up again as she ducked around them. What is he doing? He is repeating the same attack, but this time he starts with the use of a shuriken. It won't work against me, and he should know that. Hidan delivered the same diagonal blow. Like before, the girl jumped into the air to easily avoid the attack as he did. Hidan hurled his scythe directly at her as she was doing this. She was shocked to see that the scythe was fastened to a rope. She reasoned that this wouldn't hurt me. She performed a simple somersault in the air to avoid the scythe. Hidan was shouting, "Nenshu Haido Hinotama no Jutsu," burning white fireball, and making hand seals as she performed the somersault. From Hidan's mouth came a tiny, focused ball of white fire that headed directly for the girl's chest. Oh no, the girl thought, I can't avoid this. To prevent it from striking her chest, she instantly turned her right arm to block it. She could feel the jutsu hitting her upper arm instantly. It was extremely painful, and she wasn't sure if she could handle it much longer. "Look out from behind," her companion said to her as she heard a low scream while she was contemplating her suffering. She glanced over her shoulder and saw the scythe returning directly toward her. "Shit, I forgot about the previously thrown scythe because I was in so much pain." The scythe managed to scratch the side of her stomach despite her best efforts to avoid it. It's fortunate that it didn't strike her in the head because she would have died instantly. Hidan caught the scythe with ease with his right hand as it returned to him, and he stood there grinning arrogantly. When the young boy said, "So, you've decided to use ninjutsu after all?" "Ha ha ha, of course dumbass, did you really think I wouldn't use it? I don't have this thing called honor. I will do whatever I need to get the job done." The speech was just to get under your skin, Hidan stated to him. Damn, she thought, if that jutsu had struck me directly, I would have died. From now on, I will be unable to use any ninjutsu. However, there is still hope because my sensei is still here. He's still ours to take. The young boy asked the girl, "Are you alright?" "Yeah, I'm fine," the girl said. Once more, they stood on either side of Hidan, poised to strike. "Don't think I've forgotten about you, girl," Hidan said. "But, no you're not alright, it's over." The young girl said, "As I previously stated, don't think that your bluffs would work on us." "I'm not bluffing," declared Hidan. He licked the blood off his scythe as he spoke. "Enough talk, I'll show you what I mean. Kirigakure no Jutsu, hidden mist technique," said Hidan. The entire battlefield was shrouded in a dense fog as he was speaking. "Why are you hiding? Are you afraid? Don't think because we can't see you, we won't be able to defend ourselves. You should have had some information on our fighting style already from your group," said the child. He received no response. What was Hidan contemplating? The boy wondered why he was using fog to conceal himself when he knew we could fight in the dark. They heard Hidan say, "Release." A few seconds later, the fog instantly dissipated. Hidan stood on a strange symbol now. It had a triangle inside and was roughly 6 feet in diameter. He stabbed himself in the leg, shocking the other 2 shinobis. "The preparations are complete. I'll show you why I said it was over." The girl instantly fell as he did this. "What the hell did you do? You bastard," the young boy uttered. "Easy, as I take in pain, my opponent does also. That's why I said it was over," Hidan stated to him. He ripped his stomach as he was saying that, stabbing himself in the stomach and pulling it sideways. Blood was streaming from the girl's stomach as she screamed in agony. "I'll never let you get away with this," the young shinobi screamed. He hurried forward carelessly. Good, Hidan thought exactly as I had anticipated, haha. He'll make a mistake because he's angry, and when I get his blood too, it's game over. Hidan threw a kunai to gauge his anger and observe his response. Hidan was even taken aback when the young boy failed to avoid the kunai. Rather, he cut his upper arm. Better yet, Hidan believed he was so furious that he failed to avoid the kunai. He must really care about this girl. Those things will only result in your death on the battlefield, weak fool. I had underestimated how simple this would be. Hidan swung his scythe sideways and sprinted right alongside the boy as he approached. Hidan was knocked 10 feet back from the boy after the boy jumped to avoid the attack and kicked him in the face. He avoided that one, though. Did he purposefully use the kunai to give me the impression that he is furious? I still have the advantage because I can see that he is angry even though I misjudged it. Hidan sprang to his feet and began swinging his scythe over his head. Hidan remarked, "Now boy, it's over." The boy easily ducked to the left when he threw the scythe at him. The scythe instantly moved to the boy's right and sliced him across the chest when Hidan flicked his wrist, saying, "Not yet, boy." Damn, the boy thought. How did he change the direction of such a massive weapon so quickly? That wasn't what I expected. Now, Hidan thought, all I need to do is return to my circle and it's over. The boy immediately chased after him and punched him from behind as he was sprinting back to his circle. With a loud, "Boom!" Hidan struck the tree face first after being struck so forcefully. After that hit, I didn't think he would bounce back so quickly. Hidan reasoned that it wasn't a minor wound, it doesn't matter how painful that hit was. I've endured more suffering than that, And it's also over. Hidan sensed a familiar chakra approaching the battlefield as he spoke. He knew that it was the chakra of two people. One belonged to that brat with the Kyuubi, and the other to the fabled Jiraiya. Fantastic, simply fantastic, just as it was coming to an end. If Jiraiya's is also here, I won't be able to take them alone. Furthermore, we have no idea how much that brat has grown. Only one. On .1, but I might be able to take Jiraiya. Hidan laughed as he was taken off. Well boy, today is your lucky day. Seems like I'll be heading off. Next time we meet, you and that girl wouldn't be so lucky, he said. Jiraiya and Naruto are back at the training ground. Let's go, said Jiraiya. He didn't have to say it again for Naruto. To find out what was causing the commotion, they began to run in that direction. There were two ninjas there when they arrived. One was injured, but he didn't appear to be in much pain. Although he had a small cut on his upper arm and a deep cut across his chest, he was not in immediate danger. They were unable to say that for the other ninja, though. There was a large pool of blood surrounding her as she lay on the ground. Her right arm was completely covered in a large burn mark. It didn't appear good. The blood still sizzled from her arm. She must have used her arm to defend herself from an enemy's fire jutsu, Naruto surmises. She had to shield herself with her arm to prevent it from striking any of her more sensitive areas because she was most likely too late to avoid it. If she had been struck in a vital area, Naruto surmised, she would most likely have been dead. Additionally, a 3-inch wide stab wound that penetrated her left leg was present. These wounds weren't the worst, despite the fact that they weren't good. The majority of the blood loss was from a large slash wound directly across her stomach. She was clearly barely surviving, and Naruto could tell. Jiraiya. Sama, I'm so glad you're here, we have no time. As you can see, we were attacked, and I really need your help, the man said anxiously to Jiraiya. Naruto turned to face the man, whose long yellow hair reached his waist and was pulled back in a ponytail akin to Jiraiya's but much neater. Like Naruto, he also had blue eyes. He was dressed in black shorts and a black shirt with short sleeves. The shorts had just enough room for him to move around. They weren't too tight or too loose. He had taped his entire arm from the elbows down. The same tape was applied to his right leg. On his right leg, he wore his weapon pouch. He claimed to be from the hidden village of Cloud, according to the forehead protector. Based on his appearance, he was most likely 16 years old. He appears to be quite young, but the way he speaks to Jiraiya gives the impression that he knows him better, so I'm pretty sure he's pretty strong, Naruto thought. Jiraiya asked Jiraiya, where's the nearest hospital? About a mile from here, the young man answered. You lead the way since you know the way and I'll carry the girl so you can go at your full speed. Hurry, let's go, Jiraiya replied. Arrow. Sanin, we know why you want to carry the girl, would have been a wise comment if the situation had been different, but now was not the moment. The man then escorted Jiraiya and Naruto to the closest medical facility. She was taken straight to the emergency room as soon as they arrived at the hospital. In complete silence, they all waited patiently in the waiting area. After only 5 minutes, which seemed like an eternity to the three others, the nurse returned with a somber expression. I'm sorry, she responded, she has lost a lot of blood and we don't have any blood that can be used. What do you mean? Naruto asked with a voice of rage, are you saying that you guys don't have any blood in a damn hospital? Fine, you can use one of us if you guys don't want to donate any blood. Blood is just blood, so take one of ours. I'm sorry, the nurse responded, it's not that we don't have any blood, it's just that there isn't any blood here that's compatible with hers. Naruto appeared perplexed. The nurse went on to explain after that. Well, when you say blood is just blood, that's a mistake, blood is not just blood. You see, if the blood type does not match the original, the immune system of the original body will start to attack the donor's blood. The patient that you brought with you is a blood B type. Normally hospitals have this type of blood around, but as you can see this is a very small hospital in a small town and most of the inhabitants here have blood type AB or even if we do have blood type B, it seems that she has a very special type of blood. Naruto glanced at Jiraiya and the young man seated next to her. They appeared to already be aware of this information. Why does the young man refuse to donate his blood? Aren't they connected somehow? Perhaps I was too quick to assume, Naruto thought. Damn. They might not be related. Perhaps that was the reason for the man's gloom. This might not be good. Hold on, Naruto thought, attempting to recall his medical records. He recalled viewing it previously while in the hospital following the fight with Sasuke. Because Tsunade wouldn't let him go, he became bored and used his medical records as a diversion. Naruto was a blood type B, right? He was, indeed, and perhaps he could save the young girl. Naruto declared, I'm a blood type B, take some of my blood. It's not just that, the nurse said, she has a very special type of blood. Naruto began to lash out, damn, I don't care, what other options do we have? We can't just let her die. This is the only chance we have, so we're going to take it. The nurse simply sighed and said, okay, let's hurry, not wanting to explain to the irate young boy. Jiraiya and the young shinobi were waiting in the waiting room when the nurse returned 3 hours later. When the nurse arrived, Jiraiya glanced at her and noticed that she appeared a little happier than before. Jiraiya thought this was a good sign. The nurse cheerfully told Jiraiya and the young man, she looks like she's going to be fine. She would likely only need to rest for a month or so in order to heal her wounds, after which she would be able to resume her activities. The young man and Jiraiya both sighed. Where is her room? Was the first question they both simultaneously asked the nurse. Just go straight and make a right. It's the third door on the left, she replied. Naruto was on one of the beds and the young girl was on another when Jiraiya and the young boy arrived at the emergency room. Raising his thumb, Naruto flashed his fox-like smile. We should let them rest, Jiraiya stated. Besides, it's 11 and we need rest ourselves. Right, the young boy replied. When the following morning arrived, Naruto was already awake. Perched on a chair, he gazed at the girl with intense curiosity. She's really attractive, Naruto thought. Due to the darkness and, most importantly, the fact that she was covered in blood, Naruto was unable to notice this from yesterday. He was able to see her more clearly today, though, as the nurse had cleaned her. Upon closer inspection, he was astounded to learn that someone who resembled her could be a shinobi. Well, Naruto thought, Sakura is also a shinobi. He went back to studying her. Her yellow hair was long and fell just below her waist. Although she had a petite and small upper body, her lower body was small overall, with long legs and a very curvy hip. She was dressed in a short, sleeved shirt that fit her rather snugly. Additionally, the short shirt exposed her stomach, ending about an inch above her belly button. Naruto believed that the right side sleeves were the same as the left, despite the fact that they were burned off. The shirt was half white, half black. It was all black just above the chest and all white just below. Since the nurse hasn't changed her yet, it was actually red at the moment. In addition, she had on a short that hung just below her knees. It was black, too. She resembled someone Naruto knew, Sasuke, in that she had tape wrapped around her arms and legs. However, Naruto's eyes were her most striking feature. Despite the fact that Naruto hasn't yet witnessed her open her eyes, it was slightly slanted, as he could see. It made him think of a feline. He was unable to look away from it, and he questioned whether he would be able to once he saw them open. Additionally, Naruto estimated that she was most likely his age. Jiraiya stood in the doorway and said, Naruto, if you stare at her any longer with your piercing eyes, it's going to burn a hole through her. With a faint laugh, he and the other shinobi were present. Naruto briefly jumped since he didn't sense anyone, but he quickly regained his composure. Shut up, Arrow. Sennin, I was just wondering what she looked like because I didn't get a chance to see her yesterday. Okay. Jiraiya and the young man, however, were not unaware of this. Jiraiya responded, sure, Naruto, I know what you're thinking. Shut up, I said. I'm not like you, told Naruto in a furious tone. Jiraiya just laughed at this. Thank you so much for saving my student. By the way, my name is Kaito. What is yours? The other man interrupted. Nice to meet you, Kaito. My name is Naruto, he replied. Naruto pointed to Jiraiya and said, I think you already know him, in a disgusted tone. Yes, Kaito said with a smile, I know Jiraiya. Sama back from a long time ago. Anyways, what happened and how did you guys get so injured? Naruto asked the young man, curious about the incident. Sorry Naruto, I truly am, even though you saved my student's life, I can't tell you who attacked us or for what reason. I don't have the authority to do so, Kaito replied. Naruto was somewhat taken aback by this. He saved his student, after all. Why was it impossible to tell him what had happened? Naruto thought, I detest being in the dark. Kaito observed Naruto's disappointment. Although it was for her and his protection, the truth was that he truly wanted to tell the boy who had attacked them and why. The leader of his village would not be pleased if he told someone who was pursuing them. Only a select few ought to be aware of it. Since Jiraiya was the one who informed the Raikage about the group hunting them, it was fortunate that he was one of them. Jiraiya laughed and said, well, Naruto, could you stay here and watch our guest? I don't think you'll mind. Sure Arrow. Sennin, said Naruto. Wait, what do you mean by that? Naruto yelled at Jiraiya, who had already departed with Kaito, after it took a moment for his sensei's words to sink in. Kaito and Jiraiya were on the roof. Kaito was just standing there staring at Jiraiya as he leaned against a wall with his hands crossed. Jiraiya was asked by Kaito, "So, that's your student Jiraiya, Sama?" Jiraiya replied, "Yes, that's Naruto, the holder of the Kyuubi," to Kaito. Kaito remarked, "He's different than what I would imagine." "So, they came for you guys already." Jiraiya said this more as a statement than a question in an attempt to shift the conversation to Akatsuki. "Yeah, it's been only a year since you left with your apprentice and they've already came," replied Kaito. "To tell you the truth, I thought they would have probably came sooner." Jiraiya questioned, "Why would you think that?" "Well, unlike Naruto, Yugito has almost complete control over her Biju," Kaito replied. "And you know how the theory goes, it takes less time to extract a Biju when the person has more control over it. But another problem is that they can't let the person get too much control or else they would have themselves a harder fight than they want. You see, they kind of have to balance it out. The Biju extraction theory sort of worries me because it might mean big trouble for your apprentice. For Yugito, they might have want to send a couple of members at the most, but if they wait until Naruto have almost complete control over the Kyuubi before they take him, they'll probably send the whole group. They would probably wait until he gets almost full control because if they got him now, then they'll have to be extracting it straight for 8 years, give or take 2 years. Even if Naruto does have full control over the Kyuubi, I don't know if he can take on 10 Akatsuki members at the same time. The Kyuubi would be able to, of course, but not a human vessel. He's still limited." Jiraiya asked the Kaito, "I see, we'll worry about Naruto later on, but how many people did they send for Yugito?" "Well, I couldn't believe it myself, but they sent only one," replied Kaito. Jiraiya said, "Wow, they must be pretty confident in their abilities. I'm pretty sure they've already scouted our abilities and thought that he was sufficient enough for the job," Kaito stated. "It was because he stated that he would use only taijutsu and kinjutsu against us." Jiraiya added, "And of course he didn't," in a comment. "Of course not, they're Akatsuki, they won't care about honor or anything like that." But, still, stating that he would use taijutsu and ninjutsu only points to the fact that they've been scouting us, Kaito replied with a confused expression. "I've never sensed anyone close to us when we were training. I don't know how they could have known." "Well, Akatsuki does have other methods, you know. Anyways, who was the one that attacked you guys?" Jiraiya responded. "It was Hidan," replied Kaito. Jiraiya scowled at that. One of the Akatsuki about whom he knew very little was Hidan. Primarily because Hidan wasn't known for anything particularly significant and was one of the more recent members, in contrast to some members, such as Kisame, Seven Swordsmen of the Mist, Sasori, Cage Killer, Kakuzu, Bounty Hunter, or Itachi. Killer of the Uchiha clan. Hidan preferred to remain hidden. Jiraiya, however, was more interested in Hidan's fighting style and moves than this. Now at least he will have some information about him. Jiraiya asked, "What's his fighting style?" to Kaito. "Well, he uses a large scythe to attack. It's pretty slow, but it has a very large range and he also throws it. The scythe is attached to a rope so he can also change its direction real fast after throwing it. That was how I received my wound. Also, after getting an attack in, he does this weird ritual and attacks himself. I'm pretty sure that his technique requires the blood of the opponent because he didn't start his ritual until he had scratched Yugito. It does seem like he also damages himself when he attacks himself, but it seems like he doesn't care about his injuries." Jiraiya questioned, "Immortal maybe?" "Maybe," said Kaito. "Well, that's all there is in his attack style," Jiraiya was informed by Kaito. "Great, another immortal man they had to deal with," Jiraiya scowled. "Well, I really do have to thank Naruto though, because if you guys weren't here, Yugito would have died definitely even if I was able to get her to the hospital," Kaito stated to Jiraiya. Jiraiya stated, "The blood transfusion right, more as a declaration than a query." "Yes, no one else could have done it," Kaito answered. "Even though I'm her brother and we have the same blood, she's a carrier for a demon. The only other blood that she can receive is another person that has a demon within them. Unlike the Kyuubi, the Nibi doesn't have regeneration power. She would have been doomed. Well, she would need a long rest to recover because of this fight." Jiraiya allowed the young man to tell him even though he was already aware of all the facts regarding demons and their blood. The fact that he was able to assist one of the legendary Inin. Jiraiya must have made the young man happy. Recall the times he used to inform Sarutobi of facts Sarutobi already knew. When someone else listened to Jiraiya's new information, even if it was old news to them, it made him happy. People felt better simply because they were being listened to. "Well, I feel real sorry for Naruto because I can't tell him all this. He probably hates me. I mean, after all, he did save Yugito's life, and to be left out in the dark like that, Kaito said with a sorrowful voice. Jiraiya chuckled. Don't worry about it. I know you can't tell people. I'm pretty sure that he's pretty mad, but just treat him to some ramen and he'll forgive you. Really? Asked Kaito with fresh optimism. He enjoyed forming friendships and disliked offending people, particularly when he owed them a significant amount of money. Well, it might take more than a bowl or two, but he'll understand, Jiraiya replied. With excitement, Kaito remarked, well, then I'll treat him whenever I can just to show my forgiveness. Back in the hospital room in the meantime. I'm not like his perverted ass, Naruto thought, foolish arrow, Sennin. Jiraiya didn't hear his final words when he and Kaito departed, which infuriated Naruto. Though not as intently as before, he was still staring at the girl on the bed. Jiraiya and Kaito had been outside for 5 minutes, but Naruto felt as though they had been there forever. Something is happening, so hurry up. Kaito and Arrow. Sennin return. Both of them stupid. This is dull material. He noticed the girl waking up just as he was considering that. The girl experienced severe stomach pain. She was in excruciating pain in her right arm as well. Her leg hurt too, but not as much as her arm and stomach. She simply lay back down and turned to see a young man sitting across from her on her left. He had large blue eyes and short yellow hair that spiked in all directions, probably about 3 inches. She assumed he was slightly taller than her. Since she was lying down and he was sitting, she was unable to tell. However, the strangest outfit she saw was what he was wearing. He was dressed in bright orange pants and an orange jacket with blue trim near the top. Did he truly have ninja skills? She pondered. He was from the hidden village of Leaf and was a ninja, based on his forehead protector. Does everyone wear this in the leafy hidden village? It's not very effective at camouflage, really. She reasoned that he might be a very powerful ninja who wears whatever they want because they can get away with it. But she pushed that idea from her mind. She was particularly interested in the 3-whisker. Like marks on either side of his cheeks. Like a fox, she thought, almost like a cat, but too short to be a cat. He likely watched her until she recovered based on his restlessness and the way he was sitting. All in all, she found him to be a very attractive man. Hello, my name is Yugito. What's your name? She said, unsure of what to say. Oh hello, I'm Uzumaki Naruto. You're probably wondering what happened. Well, I was just practicing in the woods when me and Arrow. Sennin heard a loud bang and decided to follow the source. When we got there, you were real injured, so me, Arrow, Sennin, and Kaito took you here to the nearest hospital. Naruto chose not to tell her about the blood transfusion because he thought she might become alarmed if she learned that she had been given some demon blood. Then Yugito recalled what had transpired during her altercation with Hidan. She was certain that she had died. This guy might be really strong. I mean, he must have killed Hidan for me to still be alive. I suppose he can't be an enemy because he has already met Kaito. So did you kill the guy that we were fighting? She asks, at a loss for words. Naruto smiled sadly and said, no, he took off before me and Arrow. Sennin got there. However, Yugito believed it made no difference. But, we'll get him for sure for doing something like this to a person. It's all right as long as I'm still here and they didn't get the Biju. Yugito grinned warmly and said, well, I'm in your debt, Naruto. I know this doesn't seem like much, but, thank you. Naruto blushed a little at this. Naruto thought, what the hell's wrong with me? He bounced back fast before she could see anything. It wasn't a problem, me and Arrow. Sennin were just there at the right time. I'm pretty sure anyone else would have done the same thing, Naruto smiled broadly. Actually, Yugito thought, they wouldn't have done the same thing, and perhaps if you knew what was inside of me, you wouldn't have done the same thing either. However, she had the strange feeling that if Naruto had known what was inside of her, he would still have done the same thing. However, this thought was irrelevant, so she ignored it. Naruto saw the dejected expression on her face. Naruto said, looking worried, sorry, did I say something wrong? Unaware of her dejected expression, Yugito instantly forced a smile and said, oh sorry, it was nothing at all, I was just thinking of something. Okay, said Naruto. Are you sure though? Yugito said, yes, I'm certain, in a cheerful voice. At that moment, Jiraiya and Kaito entered the room again. Jiraiya greeted him, hello, I see that you are up, miss. This person was unfamiliar to Yugito, so she said, oh hello, you must be the Arrow Sennin that Naruto was talking about. Jiraiya gave Naruto a severe head slap after hearing this. Naruto said, his face displaying anger, ow, that hurt Arrow Sennin. Well, that's what you get for calling me that, Jiraiya said. But it's true, Naruto retorted vigorously. Well, anyways, my name is Jiraiya and nice to meet you, miss, Jiraiya replied. According to Yugito, oh, my name is Yugito. Naturally, Jiraiya was already aware of this, but it would seem strange for him to know her name before having met her. Jiraiya, you mean, the legendary Jiraiya? She asked, emphasizing the pronoun, the, more. Pointing and grinning at Naruto, he asks, the one and only. How's that brat? In response, Naruto simply scowled and said, it doesn't change anything at all. It makes sense why I was saved. She believed that this was Jiraiya, one of the fabled Sennin. Although I've never seen him before and have only heard his name, he doesn't seem particularly strong to me. However, appearances can be deceiving, yes, they can. For instance, she may not appear particularly strong, but she is aware that she is capable of defeating most people. She came to the conclusion that this was, in fact, the fabled Sennin after giving it some thought. Her initial impression of the young boy must have been accurate. He must be quite strong. After all, he is training with the Sennin. However, she believed that camouflage is still advantageous even if you are strong. She was eager to witness his strength. If you don't mind me asking Naruto, how long have you been training with Jiraiya? She asked, eager to learn more about his strength. Naruto answered, about a year now, and asked, why did you want to know? To which Yugito replied, oh, it's nothing, just wondering. Despite feeling that this was a rather unexpected question, Naruto remained silent. However, Jiraiya and Kaito simply grinned, understanding what Yugito was contemplating. Yugito reasoned that even though he hadn't been training with Jiraiya for that long, Jiraiya must have recognized something in the boy to instruct him directly. I suppose I'll never find out. Oh, I'm so sorry, Jiraiya. Same, where are my manners? I forgot to thank you for rescuing me, Yugito said with a smile. Don't worry about it, Jiraiya said. Well, should we get something to eat? It's nearly 12 and I'm hungry. Kaito interrupted the group's conversation. I say we should get some ramen. My treat, since you guys did kind of save Yugito here, he said, recalling what Jiraiya had told him. At this, Naruto remained motionless. He had no idea why, but he still felt a strong desire to remain in the room. Is there something seriously wrong with me? Naruto pondered. I want to stay here for a while, but I also want some ramen. Am I losing my mind or what? Naruto came to the conclusion that it had to be the effect of the blood transfusion. Jiraiya saw that Naruto wasn't acting like himself. Naruto would be more delighted at the mention of ramen than a child who had just gotten what they had requested for Christmas. What is bothering our little pal? Jiraiya pondered in his mind. Then it dawned on me, oh, I see. Yay, let's get going. You coming or what, Naruto? He said with an internal smile. Of course, Arrow. Sennin, Naruto immediately answered. When Kaito told Yugito, that sucks that you can't come with us, Yugito. It's okay, Yugito uttered, his smile feeble. Yugito wasn't sure what she was feeling, but she kind of didn't want Naruto, Jiraiya, and Kaito to leave. It's strange, she thought, I've never felt this way before. It must be the aftermath of yesterday's altercation, that's for sure. A shop that serves ramen. Naruto forgot all about his strange emotions in the hospital room as they got ready to order ramen. Right now, ramen was all he could think about. What kind of ramen? There were a lot of tough decisions for Naruto to make. Chicken, miso, beef, shrimp, and pork. I suppose I'll just eat 3 bowls of each choice. That would work, indeed. Naruto questioned Kaito as their orders came in. So, how do you know Arrow? Sennin, Kaito.san. Didn't the hidden village of Leaf and the hidden village of Cloud have a huge war? Replied Naruto. Yes, Naruto, that is correct. The hidden village of Leaf and the hidden village of Cloud were at war during the Great Shinobi Wars, but I met Jiraiya after the war, replied Kaito. And even though we are nations were at war does not mean that the people would have to hate each other. I understand that Jiraiya Sama is just following his orders and he understands that I'm just following my orders. It doesn't matter though because I met Jiraiya. Same after the war ended and when he became a wanderer writing his fantastic novels. When Naruto heard the term, fantastic novels, he snorted. Fantastic, he said, is more accurate than perverted. Well, anyways, on to the story. It was back a couple of years ago and my mother was doing some shopping in town. Me and my father couldn't accompany her to the grocery stand because we were on a mission during that time. It was just a little after my graduation from the academy, so my father was still sort of worried for me. Also, we thought that nothing would happen because the grocery stand is so close to our home. That's when 4 ninjas grabbed my mom and took her to the alley. She was not a ninja, so she couldn't do anything. They wanted to do some stuff with her, and that's when Jiraiya here showed up to stop them. We wanted Jiraiya to stay with us longer, but he insisted that he needed to do some research. We thanked him and he went on his way. Long story short, Jiraiya saved my mom and I owe him a lot for that. Luckily he was in Lightning Country at that time. Even though Jiraiya's been coming around more lately, Yugito hasn't seen him until today. Jiraiya probably didn't want her to know his appearance. Most likely so Akatsuki won't be aware of his activities. People might have seen it all, and word might have gotten to Akatsuki even if Yugito doesn't speak, which I know she won't. His information system might be harmed by this. Additionally, I've been seeing Jiraiya more recently because Akatsuki is now taking their time implementing their plans, Kaito reflected. I apologize, kid, but that's all I have to say. I realize it seems strange that I know him better. Not even Yugito is aware of my relationship with Jiraiya. They seem to know each other better than a one-time coincidence, which Naruto found rather strange, but he forced that thought from his mind. What were you doing in Lightning Country? Arrow. Senin? Jiraiya was asked by Naruto, who already knew this. Jiraiya snapped back, just doing some research, my boy, just some research, grinning. Should have known, Naruto said, feeling embarrassed by his sensei. After completing their meal, the three left for the hospital. They returned to Yugito's room after arriving. Well, Naruto, it's time to go train. Ready to go back? Jiraiya abruptly said after they had been there for about 5 minutes. Naruto tried to come up with a reason to stay a little longer, but he was unsuccessful. In any case, why did he wish to remain longer? Oh, I forgot, Naruto thought. Must be the dumb blood transfusion. In order to defeat Akatsuki and regain Sasuke, I need to get stronger. They began to walk when they heard Kaito's voice ask, Jiraiya. Sama, can I talk with you for a minute in private? Yugito said, thank you again Naruto-san and Jiraiya. Sama. Naruto's heart leapt at this and he responded, no problem anytime. Turning, Jiraiya commanded, Naruto, wait here. Naruto thought, damn, abandoned in the dark once more. His mood, which had been joyful due to Yugito's remark, became somewhat irate as a result. You know Jiraiya, I have never seen my sister act like this before. She's never been like this around a person, Yugito told Jiraiya. It makes me happy that she can actually feel these things. I used to always wonder if she would ever feel anything like this. I mean, she's been trained to be a shinobi ever since she was little because of her problem. The only thing she knew was to be a shinobi. She was told to not have any emotions since she was little. She followed those rules for her whole life. She also didn't have any friends while growing up, but she did have a family. Well, you already know that all that remains is just me now, but she grew up with a family when she was little. Even though she was told right from wrong and followed it, she would just follow the rules of a shinobi and never show any emotions. Even I haven't seen any emotions out from her until today. Jiraiya was just grinning. Yes, I know something odd about Naruto today also, but I think that we shouldn't press this or try anything funny. I mean, they still got other problems on their hands with Akatsuki and the like. Another thing like this could send their minds out of control. If it happens, they'll make it happen by themselves. Yes, I know, but I just wanted to tell you, Kaito replied. Yes, I know, but we gotta get going. Okay, see you in a while Kaito, Jiraiya replied. Kaito remarked, see you Jiraiya. Sama, time frame, 8 months following the hospital incident. Jiraiya was shocked to see that Naruto had practically mastered all of the useful jutsu. Now what is there for him to learn? Although he could teach him genjutsu, Jiraiya knew that he was also terrible at it, so there was no use in trying to teach him if the teacher wasn't also an expert. Next up is taijutsu. Jiraiya knew there were better people, even though he was fairly skilled in taijutsu. He could definitely keep up with Guy, so it's not that his taijutsu was bad, but he was aware that he wasn't the best. He desired the best training possible for Naruto. Furthermore, taijutsu was better suited to Naruto's fighting style. The Kage Bunshin, Shadow Clone, which remains his favorite move, would be lethal if combined with a truly strong taijutsu. Jiraiya, on the other hand, preferred to use ninjutsu to distract his opponents or trap them in it before using taijutsu when needed. His decision was made. It was the only option, even though Jiraiya didn't like it. After this incident, Naruto might even become stronger. He has the potential to become very strong if this works out. This could even put Naruto and him on equal footing. Furthermore, Naruto still had one thing that hindered him despite his rapid growth. Experience. Naruto has not yet been put to the test in combat. Since Naruto had demonstrated exceptional mission success while in Konoha, Jiraiya was fairly confident that he could manage it, even though it still amounted to very little experience. Thinking about this, he called out to Naruto. Jiraiya yells, "Hey Naruto," at a Naruto who is 30 yards away and working on his ninjutsu. Naruto retorted, "What arrow?" "Sennin, come here," yelled Jiraiya. While strolling slowly, Naruto approached Jiraiya and muttered, "This better be good, I was still practicing." "Well, you know how you want to bring back Sasuke and all that, right?" Jiraiya replied. Naruto said, "Well, yay, of course," unsure of the direction this was taking. Jiraiya questioned his pupil, "What does Sasuke have that you don't?" What did Sasuke possess that Naruto did not? It can't be related to skills because he never felt inferior to him. Then it occurred to him, the only thing Sasuke has over me for a shinobi is his Sharingan, which I can never get unless I pull a Kakashi, which means I'll probably have to take it from Sasuke, which I don't want to do. Naruto replied to Jiraiya. Correct, also one of Akatsuki that is also after you have the Sharingan, Jiraiya replied. Jiraiya then asked his pupil, "What's probably the only weakness that the Sharingan have?" Weakness, Naruto thought to himself. What about Sharingan? In a single sentence, those two words did not belong together. Then it dawned on him that he had witnessed Lee use taijutsu to defeat Sasuke. Well, the only weakness that I have seen the Sharingan have is against taijutsu. It would still be able to copy the movement, but if the person is not fast enough then their body won't be able to react in time even if they saw it coming, replied Naruto. Correct, a smiling Jiraiya said. Naruto asked joyfully, "You're going to teach me taijutsu?" "Well, not me, but I know a person who is a real good taijutsu expert, maybe even better than Guy," Jiraiya replied. No way, Naruto thought, superior to Guy. Sensei in terms of taijutsu. Whoa, I must meet this individual. He must be a fierce warrior. Lee would most likely contend that it is impossible. I'm eager to fight him, hehe. Naruto exclaimed, "Let's go meet him then," with joy. His only two thoughts were, I wonder what he looks like, and someone who might be more skilled at taijutsu than Guy teaching me. An elderly man? A woman? An actual buff guy? Well, then you ready to go. It'll probably be a month or so from here if we walk. If we run it'll probably take 1 week or so, Jiraiya said. The boy then took off with his sensei. Time frame, 2 weeks after. Naruto thought, stupid arrow. Sennin, stopping at the local bathhouses. We could have arrived much earlier. Naruto questioned his sensei, are we there yet? When Jiraiya told his student, yes, you see that mountain, it's near the top of the mountain. You're kidding, Naruto thought. He turned to face the mountain. This mountain was enormous. Naruto calculated that it must have been 30,000 feet high. In addition, he observed dark clouds with lightning strikes occurring roughly every minute. This was bad. Could he even get to the man before he passed away? Naruto pondered in his mind. Knowing how to get under Naruto's skin, Jiraiya said, don't tell me you're scared now, Naruto. What happened to the brave ninja who never backs down? All of Naruto's fear vanished as Jiraiya spoke, and he showed courage by saying, of course not, Uzumaki Naruto will never back down from anything. When he smiles, he can easily control Jiraiya's thoughts. It was more difficult to climb the mountain than it was to look at it. Naruto initially thought it was fairly simple. Then, as their altitude increased, Naruto discovered that the low oxygen levels were making it harder for him to breathe. In addition to feeling dizzy, he was not thinking clearly and it was growing cold. Those damn lightning strikes were another thing. He had to be quick enough to dodge them when they came dangerously close to hitting him. Hey, arrow. Sennin, couldn't we have just waited until the storm passed? Replied Naruto. Well, if you want to wait for an eternity then that's fine by me. This storm never stops, Jiraiya replied. Naruto was truly losing it as they went along. He wasn't sure if he could continue. He was about to run out of oxygen and chakra when he heard Jiraiya say, we're here. A massive city was visible to Naruto as he ascended the cliff. It was unbelievable to him that a city existed in such a location. The entire city was composed of a dark substance. Was it rubber, and could this be true? Naruto pondered. How did they form it into such lovely forms? The majority of these structures, in contrast to those in Konoha, featured a cylinder base with an enormous teardrop on top. Additionally, there were white rods protruding everywhere. He saw dozens of white lights shining out of the windows, despite his limited vision. This cast a faint glow over the city. It had a gentle glow to it, but it wasn't particularly bright. When Jiraiya asked his student, what do you think? Naruto only gave a low, amazed, sounding whistle because he was unable to respond. Let's go, Jiraiya said. They noticed a shinobi on guard as they arrived at the gate. State your purpose and reason for coming to the hidden village of Cloud, replied the security officer. I'm Jiraiya and this is my student, Naruto, "We're here to see a friend of mine," Jiraiya stated to the security officer. "I'm pretty sure I gave him my message already." "Proceed," the guard said. "When did you write to this friend?" Naruto asked his sensei as they began to walk. "When we were at the bathhouses," Jiraiya informed Naruto. "All because it seems like I'm having fun doesn't mean that I'm not working. You probably thought that I just wanted to stay at the bathhouse, right? Well, I was still waiting for the response from my friend." Naruto felt bad about that. Thus, rather than enjoying himself, he was working the entire time. Man, I need to stop passing such harsh judgment on him. One of the larger homes in the village was reached as they continued down the street. This one was roughly the size of a house he remembered from Konoha, and it was 3 stories high. Yes, Naruto believed that this house was most likely near Sasuke's residence. Despite being roughly the same size as Sasuke's house, it was entirely different. It appeared to be identical to every other home on the block. It featured an enormous teardrop on top of the same cylinder base. Jiraiya applied a knock. Naruto saw the man as the door slowly opened. Kaito was the one. "What? You never told me my next sensei was going to be Kaito," Naruto screamed at Jiraiya. Jiraiya retorted, "Well, you never asked Baka." Naruto said softly, "I just assumed that a master of taijutsu and kinjutsu would, be a little older." "Looks can be deceiving, can't they?" Jiraiya responded, "and don't be so disrespectful." Naruto apologized. "Oh, I'm so sorry Kaito-san," he said. "None taken Naruto-san," grinning, Kaito said. Jiraiya said to Kaito, "Well, I should get going now. Don't be so easy on him, Kaito, he can take it." With a, "Don't worry, I won't," Kaito answered. "Bye Jiraiya. Sama." Jiraiya said, "Bye Kaito, and see you later Baka," to Naruto. Jiraiya then departed. He was just thinking, I think it might actually work with this, as he was strolling down the street. Without a doubt, he will grow extremely strong. All I can hope is that he doesn't think about other things. "Well, Naruto, come in and make yourself at home. We have 2 open rooms and you can take either one," Kaito said to Naruto. Everything inside the house wasn't made of rubber like Naruto had assumed. The walls and floor were, but the furniture was all commonplace. He saw the dining room as soon as he walked in. There were 4 chairs, one on each side of the medium-sized table in the center. A kitchen appeared immediately to the right. It included a stove, refrigerator, oven, and a counter for chopping food, among other standard items. There were only 2 small single couches and a medium-sized couch in the living room. Additionally, there was a bathroom with the standard fixtures, such as a sink and mirror. On the second floor, Naruto discovered 3 bedrooms, 4 rooms, and a bathroom. Like downstairs, there was very little in each bedroom. There was a closet, a drawer, and a bed in every bedroom. In general, Naruto began to believe that Kaito only engaged in training. It is understandable why he is an expert in taijutsu. He proceeded to the 3rd floor, which was solely made of rubber flooring. Naruto assumed that this was the dojo. When Naruto noticed someone else there, he was taken aback. Yugito felt a familiar yet distinct chakra in the air while she was still practicing. When she turned around, Naruto was there. Yugito said, "Oh hello Naruto," while attempting to conceal her happiness. "What are you doing? What are you doing here?" she asked, thinking that ninjas aren't supposed to display any emotions. She thus shares a home with Kaito. Naruto reasoned that they must be in a relationship. His heart sank a little when he considered her potential relationship with Kaito. What was this sensation? Naruto had never experienced such a feeling. It was a terrible feeling, worse than when Sakura refused to acknowledge him. He thought to himself, "Naruto, you don't have time to be wondering how you feel right now. Kaito didn't tell you. I will probably be here for a year or so practicing taijutsu with him," Naruto responded. Yugito's response to Naruto was, "Actually no, he never mentioned anything like that." Again in the dark, damn it. I and other younger people are consistently left in the dark by these fucking elderly people. Even though Kaito isn't that much older than me, Naruto wondered why he did that. Kaito appeared at the door as Naruto was contemplating this. Kaito remarked, "Oh, there you are Naruto. Well, since you didn't go around our village yet I think Yugito should show you around." "Yugito, think you could show Naruto around for a little bit?" Kaito responded. Yugito told Naruto, "Sure, let's go Naruto." After saying so, they both went downstairs and departed from the house. Yugito led Naruto to her right as they exited the building. Yugito told Naruto, "Well, this is the hospital," indicating a sizable structure to her right. And it was all black. The windows and the enormous red cross in front of the building were the only non-black elements. As they strolled a bit more, Naruto noticed a store and was positive it was a restaurant. His stomach growled loudly at this realization. Naruto thought, stupid stomach. Yugito told Naruto, oh, I forgot. You must be hungry as you climb the mountain. Let's get something to eat. They went to sit down. Naruto observed that many people were staring at them icily. He recalled those Konoha eyes. It was not an enjoyable experience. Are they aware that I possess the Kyuubi? Naruto pondered. Why do they have such fear and hatred in their eyes when Ero? Sennin wouldn't have told them. Naruto had no idea that those eyes weren't on him. They were observing his traveling companion. They sat down, and although there weren't many people there, Naruto observed that it took a very long time for the waitress to even serve them. Naruto mused, damn, I forgot that Ero. Sennin had stolen all of my money and spent it at the bathhouse. In his mind, Naruto cursed Ero, Sennin. Noticing something amiss with Naruto, Yugito. I'll get this one, Naruto. I know you don't have that much money because you probably haven't been doing missions lately, so it's okay. Don't worry about limiting yourself also. You see that we don't have much in the house, so we just basically use money for necessary things. Naruto thanked her sheepishly. Yugito ordered some rice and pork, while Naruto ordered 10 different plates of ramen. He must be a huge fan of ramen, Yugito thought. Neither teen attempted to speak, and there was an awkward silence. So, what kind of things are you into, Yugito? What are your dreams, hobbies, and stuff like that? Naruto asked, breaking the silence after sensing this awkwardness. Well, I don't have much hobbies or dreams. I just want to be a good shinobi so that my village can use me, Yugito replied. What on earth? Naruto pondered. That surprised him, but not because he was a good shinobi. When she said, use me, Naruto thought, what the hell? Naruto asked her, you're only doing this for the village? You don't have any goals for yourself? Basically yes, said Yugito. Naruto questioned, so you don't even want to be a shinobi? Well, I like to be a shinobi, but I don't have any time for anything else, Yugito responded. She thought Naruto was forcing her to consider the fact that she was merely a village tool. Although she didn't particularly enjoy it, she had no other choice. She will die a shinobi, just as she was born one. In the hopes that he would stop questioning her, Yugito asked Naruto, so, what are your dreams, hobbies, and stuff like that? For her, this worked. Well, right now I have a few goals. One of my goals is to rescue one of my teammate, Sasuke. He went to Orochimaru to gain more power and I promised that I'll bring him back no matter what and I always keep my promises, Naruto stated to Yugito. When he said Orochimaru, he was wearing an angry expression. Who didn't know who Orochimaru was? Yugito did. She had heard stories about the strength of the snake Sennin. In addition, she had heard terrible rumors about his experiments and his treatment of people. Since he was also a class S missing nin, she concluded that he was an extremely skilled shinobi. Yugito asked Naruto, a little perplexed that he would attempt to bring back a traitor. Well, wouldn't that make Sasuke a traitor? Shinobis don't rescue village traitors. Yugito thought, they kill them at sight. With a resolute expression on his face, Naruto answered, technically yes, but not to me. He's my friend and I will rescue him no matter what, even if he is a missing nin. Even if my village won't accept me rescuing him, then I'll become a missing nin myself if I have to. It's odd that this boy and his friend are connected. In order to save his friend, he is prepared to turn into a missing nin. Was he unaware that the majority of missing nins were immediately killed? And he's prepared to give up his life for a friend who deceived the community. She believed that forcing him to talk would make her think less about her circumstances, but in reality, it caused her to think even more about them. Bonds were not intended for shinobi. I wouldn't think twice about killing my former teammates if they left my village or betrayed it in that way, she thought. Would I? Now that I think about it, I haven't experienced that yet. Yugito said, well, when you go and rescue him, tell me okay, I want to help, without even realizing what she had said. What the devil did I say? I wasn't concerned about this. Did I also experience his value of friendship? It's necessary to remove the affection. What made me want to assist him in getting his friend back? Was it because he appeared so resolute when he declared his intention to save him? She hoped that by saying no, you wouldn't force me to make a decision right away. Of course, I'll send you a message whenever I go retrieve him. That's a promise, Naruto replied, his face brightening. That's terrible, and I'm in a terrible situation now. He added, that's a promise. I believe he keeps his word, unlike most shinobi. When he leaves, she thought, I'll just hope he forgets or doesn't get in touch with me. Naruto kept interrupting her thoughts, saying, my hobbies are training and ramen, yes I love ramen, respectively. Yugito thought, well, I see that. Naruto told Yugito, oh yay, I'm going to be Hokage one day, that's my main dream. I want to protect everyone in my village with my strength, expecting her to chuckle at his fantasy. She didn't, which surprised him. Her response was simply, that's a nice dream, I wish I can do something like that. Well, I believe you can if you put your mind to it, Naruto said to her in a supportive manner. Not in this village, please. You have no idea what I'm capable of, and no matter how strong I get, I don't think they'll let me become Raikage, Yugito thought. Really I do, adamant Naruto said. Yugito merely gave a feeble smile. After completing their meals, they stood up to leave. Naruto sensed that everyone was staring at them as they left the restaurant. They took the correct course and carried on. After about 5 minutes, she paused and pointed to the large, deserted field, saying, "This is the training area where we practice taijutsu." There was only one thing: a large stone fighting stage. Naruto decided to ask Yugito, how come the entire village is made out of rubber? Because this location made him think of something. And why are there small rods everywhere? Well, as you can see, there is a constant thunderstorm here, so everything is made out of rubber so it wouldn't conduct any electricity. The rods, or what we call lightning rods, are another defense against the lightning storms. It attracts electrical currents to it and dissipates it into the ground, Yugito replied. Naruto questioned, so, why aren't there any rubber or rods here? Naruto made the decision to follow Yugito's example of simply staring at the field. At least 20 seconds had passed when a massive lightning bolt struck the arena. I see, Naruto thought, you have to be concerned about the environment in addition to your opponent. Just coming out here doesn't even require you to have a training partner. You are welcome to practice here and improve your reaction time. Additionally, the oxygen is extremely low here, so it will take me longer to feel fatigued when I return to sea level. Naruto was eager to begin training after having this thought. Yugito made the decision to drive Naruto home because it was getting a little late. When they arrived at Kaito's house, they entered and found Kaito sitting on the couch. So, you show Naruto around? Kaito inquired. Yes, I did, said Yugito. Kaito gave a nod and said, let's talk about your training, Naruto. First off, I don't really know how good your taijutsu is. Jiraiya Sama told me that it's above average and I do believe him, but I want to how good you really are. Let's go upstairs. So, you're going to fight me? Asked Naruto as they arrived at the 3rd floor. No, I can't really assess you if I'm fighting you. I want you to fight Yugito, Kaito replied. There was no way he could be serious. Naruto pondered. She's a girl, after all. I really don't want to harm or injure her. In addition, she gave him a treat earlier today when she paid for his ramen at the restaurant. Naruto was truly disinclined to fight her after the last thought. Yugito, however, appeared happier after hearing this news. At last, she thought to herself, I suppose I do see how strong you are, Naruto. Don't worry, Naruto, you can go hard on Yugito. She can take it, Kaito said, analyzing Naruto's features and determining his thoughts. Naruto was still unsure of his thoughts. Okay, said Naruto. Okay, since I just want to assess your taijutsu, I want you to use only strictly taijutsu, okay? Jiraiya Sama said that you like to use kage bunshins in your fighting skill, so I guess you can use kage bunshins also, since you'll be using taijutsu when using your bunshins. Okay, start, Kaito replied. Naruto assumed his defensive position. Naruto thought, I still don't feel like attacking her. Yugito, who sensed that Naruto was not feeling well, said, Naruto, don't worry about me, seriously. I want to fight you at your best. However, Naruto appeared to be unaffected by them. He didn't want to attack her, and she could still feel that. Well, she thought, after I hit him a couple of times, he'll change his mind. Naruto remained in his defensive position. Well, let's get started. What the fuck is she doing? He felt a sharp pain in the right side of his stomach as he was thinking that. Unbeknownst to him, Yugito had gone directly behind him and delivered a solid right hook to his right side, just below his ribs. Naruto felt another blow, this time to the right side of his head, as he leaned over to his right to support his ribs. He was propelled about 2 feet into the air by this. Naruto just received a forceful right uppercut to the face from Yugito. Then, while Naruto was still in the air, she delivered a right roundhouse kick that connected with his rear end. Naruto was propelled 5 feet ahead of her by this, landing chest first on the ground. With a slight smile, Kaito said, I told you, Naruto, that if you worry too much about hurting her, you're going to get hurt. Naruto spat blood onto the ground. What the devil is happening? God damn it. I was unable to see her at all. Her gaits were probably as quick as Lee's. You can keep up with the speed, Naruto, so relax. Simply put, Naruto thought, you were caught off guard because you were afraid of hitting a girl. Naruto got back up. Okay, I'm sorry for taking you lightly because you were a girl, Yugito, Naruto said with a fox-like grin. I won't hold back now. Okay. Yugito grinned and said. To Naruto's surprise, it wasn't the arrogant grin that Sasuke always had when he smiled, or the one that said, I'm better than you, like when Neji nearly beat him. That's all I asked for in the first place, the warm smile said. Naruto thought that girls were really strange. Using her full speed, Yugito charged directly at Naruto. Naruto saw her coming and was prepared this time. Naruto used his right hand to block the left hand she threw at his face. When Naruto noticed her other hand approaching, he used his left hand to grab her wrist and yanked her in his direction. Naruto also gave her a right elbow to the stomach, using her momentum against her. He knelt down and placed the back of his neck directly beneath the side of her stomach, still holding onto her right wrist. He then lifted her over his shoulders before letting her fall heavily to the ground. Naruto has yet to complete his attack on her and was still holding her hand tightly. He started to punch her in the face, but before he could make contact, her left foot kicked him in the side of the head. He lost his grip on her wrist as a result. After Naruto fell to his knees, she rolled away from him a few feet and jumped back to put more distance between them. I see you're going to take me seriously now, Yugito said, grinning. Naruto smiled and said, well, I did say I was and I don't go back on my words, so yeah, I'm taking you seriously. Now it's my turn to criticize Naruto. He sprinted directly toward Yugito. She began to think, he can't really be running at me directly, can he? Naruto made a cross with his two middle and index fingers as he closed the distance to a few feet. With a Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, Naruto declared. At that moment, Naruto makes two clones. One on the right and one on the left. As soon as it appeared, the clone on the right performed a right roundhouse sweep kick. Just as Yugito was about to react to the clone, she saw the other clone begin to wind up his right hand in preparation for punching her lights out. She was able to jump up to avoid the hit. She grabbed the clone's forearms as the punch came and used them as a high bar. She swung forward with the agility of a gymnast and kicked the real Naruto in the face with both legs, sending him flying back a few feet. I don't think that will work against her, but nice try, Naruto, Kaito thought with a smile, trying to send her airborne to reduce her defenseless mobility. Damn, this girl hits hard, he thought as he collapsed to the ground. However, he sensed that her chakra was approaching him, so he didn't have much time to worry about that. She nearly used her left leg to stomp on his face, but Naruto was able to roll just behind her in time. He delivered a forceful right hook to the rear of her right hamstrings, directly beneath her buttocks, as he was rising from his roll. Naruto thought, well, that wasn't a good spot to hit, but whatever, she was already getting better, and I'm sure she would have blocked it if I went for the side of her face or stomach. She was already healing from the blow to her leg when he attempted a left roundhouse kick to her face, and she saw his approach. Yugito seized Naruto's leg and hurled him against the wall on the other side of the room. She ran after him, prepared to attack him again, as soon as she threw him. When he was about 4 feet from the wall, he made another cross with his fingers and uttered the words, Kage Bunshin. The clone materialized with his back to the wall, both arms extended, ready to grasp Naruto's feet. Naruto leapt forward, pressing his foot against the clone's hand. To increase Naruto's speed, the clone also shoved him forward. Yugito didn't anticipate Naruto using his clone in that manner, so she was taken aback by his speed and found Naruto too close to block, dodge, or counterattack. It was a welcome surprise for her. Naruto withdrew his left hand and swung it forcefully in her face with all of his strength. His fist made a clean contact with her face. She was unable to even try to shift her body position to lessen the impact. Yugito retreated several feet as a result. How is that? You hit me in the face twice, and I got you back, Naruto thought. That felt good, even though he didn't want to admit it. Yugito had blood streaming down her lips and nose. The blow dazed her, and she took a while to drop to her knees. Naruto had already performed a bunshin behind her as she attempted to stand up, and it caught her in a full Nelson. She wouldn't be so dangerous without her arms, Naruto reasoned. He approached her with the intention of punching her once more. She swung her legs up as he approached. This time, girl, Naruto thought, I knew you were going to do something like that. He then grabbed her ankles between his armpits. Now she was in midair, the clone holding her upward in a full Nelson while Naruto held her ankles. He was still able to do seals because he had her ankles under his armpits. He made a second clone, which gave her a forceful elbow to the stomach. When the blow came, she stiffened in agony. She used all of her strength in her arms, legs, chest, and abs to leave up the clone holding her in a full Nelson as it came down for another blow. The two clones puffed as a result of hitting each other. Her ankles were still being held by the real Naruto. While Naruto was still holding her ankles, Yugito swung herself upright and pushed the majority of her weight forward, causing Naruto to fall. It worked. Yugito was on top of Naruto as he fell to the ground. Naruto felt a strong impact as he hit the ground, and it also fell on his shoulders. Yugito suffered a severe injury as a result of Naruto's holding attack. It was his knees. She had the advantage of being on top of him now that her entire weight was on his shoulders. Despite his best efforts, Naruto was unable to remove her. Yugito persisted in beating Naruto's face, each blow feeling like a metal pole hitting him. Naruto reflected, I can't even move to lessen the impact or defend myself. Every blow she delivered landed cleanly. Kaito remarked, that's enough, given that Naruto was powerless. Yugito halted and separated from Naruto at that moment. She stood up and extended her hand to assist Naruto in standing up. Dazed, Naruto took her hand in his. He was surprised to see that, in contrast to many others, she didn't have a face that suggested she was in any way better than Naruto when he was down. Her sincere smile was still there. Kaito said, that's good, to both of them. Yugito, could you clean up the blood that you guys made? Yes, sensei, said Yugito. Kaito said, come Naruto, I want to talk to you. After Kaito went downstairs, Naruto went into one of the bedrooms. His brain was pounding as if it wanted to burst from his head, but he was no longer dazed. You did very good with your first taijutsu match with Yugito, Kaito stated to him. Yeah, do you mean how I got my face punched in? Naruto was not feeling well following a taijutsu girl's beating of him. In an attempt to improve his mood, Kaito replied, no, that's not what I meant. I really mean it. Most people that go up against her in strictly taijutsu don't even land a punch on her. Naruto stated, well, I had cage bunshins helping me, indicating that he needed to employ bunshins as part of his strategy. Indeed, he struck her without using his cage bunshins, but only while she was still determining whether Naruto was sincere. Yes, and I had to apologize to her for that one occasion when I nearly punched her butt, Naruto thought, a faint flush appearing on his face that soon disappeared. His cage bunshin strategy was the main reason he was able to hit her most of the time. His mood was not improved by this. Well, they were still using taijutsu, Kaito replied. I was going to start you with the more basic level of taijutsu, but I can see that we can skip that and start on the more advanced form. Jiraiya. Same also told me that he wanted you working on some missions while you were here. I'll talk with the Raikage about that. I'm pretty certain that he wouldn't mind. You'll be going on missions with me and Yugito. Naruto's only thought was, great, going on missions with someone that bested you. That's good to hear, he said, putting that out of his mind. Yugito was cleaning up the blood back in the dojo as she considered her matchup with Naruto. There is no question that he was strong. She asked herself, I wonder if I can take him if it wasn't just a taijutsu match. I'm pretty sure he has an advantage over me in ninjutsu, even though I can also use genjutsu and ninjutsu. According to what I've read, Jiraiya, same as an excellent practitioner of taijutsu and ninjutsu. I'm pretty sure he beats me in that category if he studied a lot of ninjutsu under Jiraiya. Sama. However, where did he learn his taijutsu? Did he learn it on his own or from Jiraiya? Sama? It appears to have no structure, as though he is acting instinctively. After the training, he will be an extremely skilled ninja if he learned this primarily on his own. She smiled slightly. It was one of the few times she ever smiled sincerely. Naruto heard a knock on his door as he was preparing to go to bed. Come in, said Naruto. As Yugito entered, he said, oh, hi. Hello, Naruto, Yugito responded. I just wanted to say that it was fun sparring with you. Naruto thought, fun, right, it was fun pounding my face in. However, he also saw that she didn't have a great life. He didn't appear as damaged as she did because of Kyuubi's healing abilities. Her face was a rich shade of blue, in contrast to his. Naruto had left a large blue mark in the middle of the attractive face. Naruto's fist was the size of the huge blue bruise. I'm sorry for punching you in the face, oh and Anya, he was about to say, but he couldn't find the right words to express how sorry he was for what he had done. She grinned and replied, no, it's okay, that was fun. It's get boring after fighting sensei for a long time. Our moves are too similar, but the only other people that would fight me is way below my level, so it's not much fun either. You, on the other hand, are pretty skilled in taijutsu already. I hope we become good friends. And then she gave Naruto her hand to shake hands with. Shaking her hand, Naruto took it. Leaving Naruto's room, she said, well, you're pretty interesting. K, see you, I gotta go to bed. She found him entertaining and quite talented. Was it enjoyable to have her face thrashed? Or was it more enjoyable when she was beating him? Want to be close friends? Isn't he intriguing? Naruto thought. Damn, girls are so hard to figure out. He went to open his door after thinking this, but as he did, he noticed Yugito open the door leading to Kaito's room. Anything wrong, Naruto? She asked, turning around. Oh, nothing. I was just going to say that it was fun. Naruto grinned, and she grinned back. After shutting his doors, Naruto returned to his bed to reflect. What am I thinking? She is Kaito's girlfriend, of course. There were only 3 bedrooms, he said, and 2 of them were open. She had nowhere else to sleep. A guy is willing to teach you taijutsu, and here you were thinking about your feelings for his girlfriend, Naruto thought. Nice to show your appreciation. K. I will no longer experience any of these emotions. I must concentrate on the task at hand. When Yugito walked into the bedroom she shared with her brother interrupted her, already lying on his bed across the room. Kaito asked her, what do you think of him? Well, he pretty good in taijutsu, I'm sure he'll become a very good ninja after training a while with us, replied Yugito. That's not what I meant, you know what I mean. Yugito, I can see it in your eyes when you look at him. You're always smiling when you're with him also, which you rarely do. I mean, it's pretty easy to see, Kaito said with a slight grin. In an attempt to conceal her feelings, Yugito tensed up and said, I don't know what you mean, Kaito, sensei. Is my brother aware that ninjas are emotionless? Am I really that clear? In actuality, she was unsure of her feelings toward him. He carried himself differently than any shinobi she had ever encountered. Not just in the clothes he wore. He never made an effort to hide his feelings, and based on their brief conversation in the restaurant, she assumed that he placed a high importance on friendship. It was not intended for shinobi to have friends. If your friends are known to the enemy, it's a sure thing on the field. Your friends may be used as bait by them. The worst part is that you could both perish as a result. He also got her to consider friendship and goals, 2 things she had never considered before. This did not sit well with her. Kaito interrupted her thoughts by asking, when are you going to stop calling me sensei and start calling me brother? We've already went through this, even though I'm technically your sensei, it'll be better if you called me brother. I mean, we're pretty much at the same strength except that you're still rank lower than me. Yes, she would be a Junin with her current strength, but because she's a Jinchuruki, the village wanted to protect her more, so they lowered her rank so she couldn't accept the harder missions. Additionally, he was positive that she was superior to him if she used any of her Biju abilities. He was aware that the village's safety was the reason for keeping her rank lower, not her own. The village's defense would be compromised if the vessel was destroyed. But whether she calls me brother or not, why even bother? Kaito pondered. She will never call me brother because she was taught that shinobis don't have bonds, and if she did, it would be an admission of bonding. She would probably never call me brother, but I know she would stop at nothing to keep me safe. Well, I'm not going to push it out of you to call me brother, but anyways, good night, Yugito, Kaito replied to her. After saying, good night, sensei, Yugito answered. In order to help her feel less alone, he considered telling her that Naruto is also a Jinchuruki while he was lying in bed. The right to do that belongs to them, not me. That thought put him to sleep as well. Naruto has been working with Kaito and Yugito on missions for the village during his year-long stay at the hidden village of Cloud in order to earn some cash for himself. The feelings Naruto had were not pursued. During his stay in the hidden village of Cloud, he only had one objective in mind: to become stronger. He practiced taijutsu continuously in his spare time. He believed that he was now likely among the best practitioners of taijutsu. He was on par with Kaito and Yugito. However, time passed quickly, and it was time to depart. After bidding farewell, he descended the mountain to meet his former sensei. Upon reaching the mountain's base, he noticed Jiraiya was already waiting for him. Naruto said, "Hey, Arrow. Sennin, glad I didn't have to wait for you," with a joyful tone. Jiraiya said, "Ready to go home, brat?" Naruto was eager to see his old friends when he returned home. He smiled broadly at that thought. Jiraiya told him, "We can return to the hidden village of Leaf in 2 weeks if we move quickly." They then set out on their homeward journey. They were at the front of the gate after 2 weeks. The guard inquired, "Why have you come to the hidden village of Leaf?" With a loud and annoying voice, Naruto answered, "Well, I live here and I've come back to be Hokage, so let me through." The guard merely gave him a look. He did, however, wear a leaf protector for his forehead. He then turned to face the other man. He was shocked to learn that it was Jiraiya. This made him say, "Oh, sorry, Jiraiya. Sama. I didn't know it was you. You may pass." Jiraiya and Naruto entered through the open door. Naruto mimicked the guard and said, "Oh, sorry Jiraiya. Sama, I didn't know it was you, in a low, derisive voice. The guard was foolish, Naruto thought. It feels so good to be home, boy. I'm hungry, man. Before I go say hello to all of my friends, I'm going to go eat some ramen. Naruto thought. There are so many things to do. To Jiraiya's surprise, Naruto didn't even try to pull a practical joke or make a noise when he returned. Did he mature as a result of his missions in the hidden village of Cloud? Jiraiya pondered. He's definitely matured. But he could see Naruto was glad to be back. Hey Naruto, I'm going to give a report to Tsunade. You probably won't see me after this until I have some new information on Akatsuki and the likes. I'll probably come back a few times to visit you, but I guess this is good. Bye. I've taught you everything I know, so I'm of no further use. I know that you're strong and I can't protect you anymore, so take care. Okay. Maybe when this whole mess with Akatsuki is through we'll be able to relax more, but until then I'll have to keep updating my information network, Jiraiya said with a sorrowful tone. With a grin. He was aware that the best course of action for both Naruto and himself was to leave him. Although Jiraiya didn't have to watch the child anymore, which made updating his information network easier, the thought of losing Naruto still made him sad. Furthermore, even if Naruto learned every jutsu in the world, he would never be strong enough to defend himself if Jiraiya was always there to do so. Certain lessons can only be imparted in a life or death scenario. When Jiraiya first began training Naruto, he had no idea that he would experience such emotions. Naruto said in a melancholy tone, "Thank you so much, Jiraiya Sensei," since he would no longer be seeing the recluse as frequently. He nearly started crying when Naruto called Jiraiya Sensei. Jiraiya remarked, "Okay, stop the mushy stuff, I got to go." He then leapt onto the rooftops and began to leap in the direction of the Hokage Tower. Naruto saw one of his friends before he had even gone past the second block. Lee was the one. "Naruto, you've come back, my youthful friend. Everyone was waiting for your return. I must go tell everyone." Lee recognized Naruto instantly and, before Naruto could say anything more, he was already rushing to spread the word that Naruto had returned. The only thing Naruto did was scratch the back of his head. Naruto saw his old friends approaching him as he kept moving down the lane. Hinata, Shino, Lee, Shikamaru, Ino, Kiba, and Neji were present. Sakura's absence somewhat disappointed Naruto. Naruto gave them a wave. They all greeted him as well when he arrived, saying, "Hey Hinata, Shino, Lee, Shikamaru, Ino, Kiba, Neji." When Hinata noticed that she had changed into a purple and white jacket, she simply blushed, pointed her two forefingers together, and managed to mutter, "Hello, Naruto-kun." The sleeves were white, and the center was purple. Her hair, which grew out longer, was the primary difference. Additionally, she was able to develop in areas that Naruto enjoyed. Shino remained silent in front of Naruto. He simply gave Naruto a head nod. Shino hasn't changed all that much either. He became slightly taller and wore a hooded jacket over his head. Lee's green spandex was still on. The only change was that he now wore it with a vest. "Hey Naruto, how's it been?" Shikamaru asked in a slack voice. He was wearing a Chunin vest now. Although he had slightly longer hair, his appearance remained consistent. With a smile, Ino said, "Hey, Naruto." Naruto saw that Ino had grown her hair back to her previous length. She also covered one eye with her bangs. The purple shirt and shorts were still on her. "Since you're back now, I can have my rematch, right?" Kiba said loudly. Naruto told him, "Haha, sure Kiba. It doesn't matter though because it'll be the same result." Kiba simply said, "Dream on Naruto." Naruto turned to face Kiba and took off his jacket in favor of a lighter one. It was a deep shade of blue. Unlike his old one, it lacked a hood. His dog, Akamaru, who was now quite large, was at his side. He got down to Kiba's waist. Neji was the one who changed his clothes the most, saying in his monotone voice with a slight smile, "Glad to see you Naruto, I would like a rematch as well." His robe was long and white. He also stopped wearing his hair in a beanie. Looking at Naruto, Ino thought, "Wow, he's changed a lot." In addition to growing taller, Naruto's expression had become more focused. He wore a short, sleeved black and white shirt instead of his orange jacket. The shirt was white on the bottom and entirely black above his upper chest. In addition, he changed out of his orange pants and put on shin-length black shorts. There was tape wrapped around his arms and legs. He was a little taller now, and Ino saw that he had lost some fat and gained muscle instead. Shikamaru spoke first following the introductions. "Long time no see Naruto. The others are still on their missions, so you'll probably meet up with them later, and Sakura's coming down right now. She was at the Hokage's tower, so it'll take her a while to get her." Lee already told her to meet us at Ichiraku Bar. Let's go then. Everyone got in, even though it was a tight fit when they arrived at the ramen bar. Of all the people there, Naruto naturally ordered the most ramen. Naruto asked everyone, so, what has everyone been doing? Neji was the one who responded, well me, Shino, Sakura, and Shikamaru are Junins now. Lee, Ino, Choji, Hinata, Kiba are Chunins and Tenten became an Anbu. We've been doing nothing much, just some missions here and there. What about you Naruto? What have you been doing? And why would you receive personal training from a Sennin? Everyone in the group was curious about this. Few members of the group were aware of the Kyuubi's secret. After Naruto left, Shikamaru figured it out, but he kept it to himself because he believed Naruto should be the one to tell everyone. After looking through some of the Hokage's papers, Sakura discovered the truth. Nobody else knew anything else. Naruto decided that now was not the time to tell them, even though he knew he would have to do so eventually. Well, Neji, I guess that Jiraiya just saw something in me and wanted to train me, Naruto replied. Although it wasn't the most clever lie, Naruto had no other option. The entire group was aware that he was lying, but they chose to overlook it because it was his first day back. As for you other questions, I've been training mostly with Jiraiya, Naruto replied. Kiba questioned, for 3 years straight? Yay, just about, falsified Naruto. He was reluctant to disclose that he was training with shinobi from a different village because he was aware that if word spread, he might be expelled from the community. Particularly because there was no alliance between the hidden village of Leaf and the hidden village of Cloud. He was concerned about the council, but he knew Tsunade wouldn't mind. They might cause him trouble if they found out about it. He made the decision to tell his friends in a more private setting later. Naruto noticed a pink-clad girl approaching them as they were conversing. He knew only one of the girls in pink. When Sakura showed up, she grinned broadly and said, Naruto, I'm so glad you're back. In response, Naruto said, it's nice to see you too, Sakura. Sakura's hair had grown out once more, but this time it was only to her mid-back. She also had on a smaller shirt and shorter shorts. She had grown shorter than Naruto. I thought seeing her would make me much happier, so this was strange. Not because I'm unhappy to see her, but because I was expecting butterflies or something. I believe that Sakura was the only girl I fell in love with. So why'd I feel the same way about her as I did when I first met my other friends? Naruto pondered. A shinobi wearing sunglasses suddenly materialized behind them. Tsunade. Sama request an immediate meeting with you, Naruto. Naruto grinned broadly as he said to his friends, well, I suppose I'll see you guys later. He observed Shikamaru emerge from the ramen stand as he was leaving. Shikamaru said, Naruto, would you mind if I spoke with you? Go ahead, said Naruto. Shikamaru questioned, why did you lie to us about the Kyuubi? So you know, said Naruto. Yes, so far only me and Sakura knows about the Kyuubi. I figured it out while Sakura figured it out by reading some documents that she shouldn't have, Shikamaru stated to him. How did you figure it out? Inquired Naruto inquisitively. Well, right after you left I started to do some thinking. I always wondered why every adult in the village hated you so much. Also, another thing was that most parents told their kids not to associate with you. I remembered mine did. I also remembered that your birthday was on the 10th of October since Iruka Sensei would always take you out that day. Also the Kyuubi attack was on the same day as your birthday. We all knew that the 4th defeated the Kyuubi, but it always left out how he defeated the Kyuubi. So, because I was a Chunin already by then I could check out some more detailed information. I looked up how he defeated the Kyuubi and it said he used the Shikafujin, Death God. Normally this would kill the user and the target, but when done to a demon it just seals it. Since a demon can't die it has to have a vessel, in this case I figured it was you because of the way the villagers treated you, Shikamaru replied. You're just too smart for yourself, you know that? Well, what do you think of me now? Replied Naruto. What do you mean what do I think of you? You're still the same person I know. Nothing has changed. That's why I was wondering why didn't you tell them yet? Replied Shikamaru. Thanks for not telling everyone yet. Right now is not the time yet, but one day I will tell them, Naruto said to Shikamaru. Alright, but they're your friends and I'm sure they won't change their opinion of you, Shikamaru replied. After saying goodbye to Naruto, he went back to the ramen stand to pay for his meal. Shikamaru's friends were talking about Naruto when he arrived at the ramen shop. Ino asked Sakura, so, what do you think of Naruto? Well, he has matured that's for sure, he doesn't seem that loud anymore and hasn't pulled any pranks yet. I thought when he returned there would have been some fireworks or something, but he just returned in a normal fashion. It looks like he has a lot on his mind right now, Ino replied to Sakura. Yes, I can see that he's hiding something from us. It's not a small problem either, Neji said. Why would he do that? Why would he want to keep a secret from us? He knows he can trust us and that we'll be there for him, Neji was asked. Exactly, replied Neji. Explain? Kiba asked in a perplexed tone. Well, the way I see it is that Naruto has tried to solve his problems by himself. He knows that if he tells us his problems, we're going to try and help him. It must be something huge for him not to tell us. In his view, he's trying to keep us safe by not telling us, Neji replied to Kiba. Ino yelled, that's a real stupid way of looking at things. Yes, I would agree with you, but this is probably how he sees it, Neji replied. Something big is coming up. I'm guessing that someone or something very dangerous is after Naruto's life. Lee asked Neji, so you know what's happening then? Well, I don't the full story, but it's just pure guesswork right now. Remember, these aren't facts, just analyzation right now, Neji continued. Well, then, tell us, Kiba snorted. Because Neji could analyze things more easily than he could, he detested it when he pretended to be all-powerful. Neji was receiving all of the group's attention. I don't know why, who, or what is after Naruto, but I'm certain of this. They must be very strong. Naruto's been training with Jiraiya for 3 years, right? Knowing him, he probably trained all day and night each day without rest. He's probably the strongest one out of us right now, Neji replied. Kiba then pretended to yawn. Shino nodded in agreement and said, no, I'm serious Kiba. He's probably stronger than even me or Shino here. Shino was aware that Naruto was stronger, despite the fact that he had greatly improved. For 3 years, he had been training under a Sennin. He was also aware that Naruto would not take it easy. It appeared as though Naruto could train for days on end without stopping, though Shino didn't. I'm saying he's at least at Kakashi. Sensei or Guy. Sensei's level at least, Neji said. No way, an elite Junin, Kiba had answered. I know he's stronger, but around Asuma. Sensei and Kurenai. Sensei? You might think he's a drop dot out and wouldn't improve that much Kiba, but remember what he did to you. Remember what he did to me. Neji went on. Kiba wanted to fight him again because he remembered well. Only by dropping a stink bomb directly in his face did Naruto defeat him. Kiba believed that his match against me had been fortunate. However, his matchup with Neji was not a factor in the battle. He defeated Neji without any success. Despite Kiba's reluctance to acknowledge it, Neji was stronger than him. Are you talking about Snake Man? Is that person who's after him, Snake Man? Neji was asked by Ino. At first yeah, but then I started to wonder. We already knows that he'll be rescuing Sasuke sooner or later. And besides, Orochimaru is just one person. Even though he is a Sennin, he won't be able to take on that much people at the same time if he decides to attack Naruto. He would eventually run out of chakra, Neji continued. No, I believe he's hiding something else. That's why I also mentioned they, instead of just a person. I do not believe that Naruto wouldn't hide this if it was just one person. It must be a group of highly trained shinobis that's after Naruto for him not to tell us what's happening. Kiba emphasized the importance of highly skilled ninjas by asking, so then, why is he so special that these highly skilled ninjas want him so badly? Does he lay a magical egg that gives you a wish or something? Neji stated, that's something I don't know. At this, Shikamaru and Sakura both stiffened. They were aware of the reason. The group's goal was what was inside Naruto, not Naruto himself. Shino asked, more as a remark than a question, do you have something to say, Sakura? Sakura remarked, no, I don't. Sorry, I got to back Tsunade Sama's office and file her papers before leaving. As Ino yelled, what, Sakura wait, come back here for. Head girl, Sakura, however, chose to ignore her and began running toward the Hokage tower. Naruto rushed to the Hokage's office after Shikamaru left. He was thinking to himself as he hopped on the building rooftops. Naruto felt guilty for keeping his friends in the dark about what was going on, but he was correct. They would also be in serious trouble if he revealed who was pursuing him. He did not want them to die in an attempt to keep him safe. All he wanted was for time to stand still, but he knew that was impossible. The fact that they knew he was going to save Sasuke from the Snake Man didn't bother him. He did not, however, want them to be aware of Akatsuki. Akatsuki would eventually come after him. He could have attacked them one at a time or waited for them to attack collectively. With the latter, he liked his chances. He was aware that Akatsuki would most likely attack shortly. Jiraiya had heard that Akatsuki only required 3 Bijus. He was unaware of the whereabouts of the other Biju, but he was aware that Gaara was still alive. Naruto didn't want his pals to be concerned about his issue. He was eager to see Tsunade as he approached Hokage Tower. He compared Tsunade to Naruto's mother, whom he never had. She made an effort to protect him and discipline him, unlike Jiraiya. But sometimes, Naruto thought, she tries to protect him too much. However, he was aware that she was only acting on her best judgment and that her only concern was for him. He recalled Jiraiya telling him that she had saved him from the Snake Man by bringing a sword to her chest. Some individuals would take that action on Naruto's behalf. And he would gladly risk everything for her in order to achieve this. Naruto saw Tsunade swiftly tuck away a shot of sake as he opened her door. She said, "EHHMMHMM, knock before you come in Naruto," to Harry. She was so happy to see him. She evaluates him somewhat, saying that he is no longer the prankster or loudmouth that he once was. He has matured quite a bit. He appears so solemn at the moment. Naruto yelled, "Hey, Ba-chan," loudly. Tsunade thought, "I guess I was mistaken about the loudmouth part." He turned to face Shizune, who was standing to Tsunade's right, and said, "Hi, Shizune-chan." "Hello, Naruto," she smiled in return. Naruto asked Tsunade, "So was there anything particular that you wanted?" Tsunade told Naruto, "No, is there something wrong with just wanting to see the brat that I miss?" "Well, of course not. I just thought that it was something more important, cause you did make it kind of formal. I was going to come up her anyways right after lunch." Naruto grinned at Tsunade. Tsunade told Naruto, "Jiraiya told me mainly everything, so all I wanted to say was welcome home." "Well," he said with a smile, "it's good to be home." Tsunade grinned evilly and asked, "So, did you meet anyone interesting?" Stupid Jiraiya, did he fabricate a tale about Yugito and me? Naruto thought, why does she have such a malevolent grin when I didn't even do anything? Naruto said, "Don't know what you're talking about, Ba-chan," without showing any emotion. Tsunade said sarcastically, "K, I believe you, Naruto," while maintaining her smile. Naruto became enraged by this. Naruto said, "I said I don't know what you're talking about," more loudly and angrily. Tsunade enjoyed making fun of Naruto, but she decided to let him go after realizing that this wasn't the right topic to make fun of him about. "Okay. All I wanted to do was see you. You're free to go now since I still don't know where to put you yet," she told Naruto. As he approached the door, Naruto muttered, "Stupid arrow. Senin." He then recalled a question he had intended to pose to Tsunade. He halted and turned around. "Ba-chan, when am I going to go and rescue Sasuke? It's already been 3 years already and he doesn't have much time left. Snake Man's going to take over his body soon, so I want to try and rescue him as fast as possible. Probably in 2 months or so. We haven't found the base of the hidden village of sound yet, but we're really close. By 2 months we should find it," replied Tsunade. Naruto then walked away and shut the door. Shizune told her sensei, "Tsunade Sama, why did you lie to him? We've already located the hidden village of sound." "Yes, that's the truth, but I can tell him that. It's for his own safety. If I told him that we've already found the hidden village of sound, he would bug me to no end until he got an answer out of me. I also don't want him going out right now with Akatsuki on the loose. Jiraiya said that the last time he updated his connections was a month ago, so we don't really know their location right now. I don't want him going out without knowing where the members of Akatsuki are located. If they're some distance away, then I'll let him go," she told her pupil. "But what if Orochimaru already switched to Sasuke's body by then?" Shizune pondered. "Well, according to Jiraiya, he probably won't switch for another 6 months. He could switch right now, but he wants Sasuke to be a more permanent vessel. For that to happen, Sasuke has to fall under the complete control of the cursed seal. If no one seals it, it nearly takes 4 years or so to completely control someone when the cursed seal is given to them. Orochimaru probably instantly took off Kakashi's seal when Sasuke got there. Another thing is that if the person keeps using it repeatedly, then the time that it takes to control someone will shorten. But according to Jiraiya's information, Sasuke hasn't been using the cursed seal much during his training with Orochimaru," Tsunade replied. Tsunade had little knowledge of Sasuke and was unaware of Naruto's motivation for wanting to bring him back. She saw only someone who had betrayed the village and their friend to increase their own power. She recalled what Naruto had done to repay her for nearly dying to bring her back so she could heal him. Sasuke struck Naruto in the chest with a Chidori. Tsunade became enraged at this thought. Even though she was aware that Orochimaru would make the Sharingan lethal, she found it difficult to control her rage. Instead of attempting to murder one another, the Leaf Ninjas were meant to help one another. Naturally, the council wanted him back at all costs. They only wanted the Sharingan to return to Konoha. They didn't care about Sasuke. 5 minutes or so later, Tsunade heard someone knock on her door. "Come in," she said, a little louder than she usually would. It was Sakura, one of her students. "So, what's on your mind, Sakura?" Unable to ask without revealing that she had secretly viewed Naruto's profile, she said, I was just wondering, who's after Naruto?" "What do you mean, Sakura?" Tsunade asked in her typical tone, raising her eyebrows. "Please don't lie, Tsunade. Sensei, I know something is up, please just tell me. We were all talking about Naruto and Neji mentioned something that I couldn't stop thinking about. As I thought about it more, I could see that Neji was right," Sakura begged. Tsunade laid a large stack of papers to her right more forcefully than usual and said, "I see someone has been snooping around the records without my permission," in a slightly irate tone. "I'm sorry, I was just worried about my teammate," Sakura apologized. With a firm tone, she declared, "You will be punished for looking through the files without my permission, but I will tell you since you're his teammate and will probably try to look through all the records anyways if I don't." "Okay. You already know what these people are after, right?" Tsunade responded. Sakura gave a nod. Sakura nearly passed out when she heard, "Well, there are 9 class S missing nins that call themselves Akatsuki. Basically, they are after Naruto for the Kyuubi inside him." She thought, 9 class S missing nins after Naruto, and lost all feeling in her legs. "We don't really know what they will do if they manage to get the Kyuubi. Also, they aren't just after the Kyuubi, they are also after the other Bijus. So far they got 6 Bijus already, so it's only a matter of time before they come after Naruto," Tsunade continued. Sakura thought, 6 Bijus, that only leaves 3 more. How would he defend himself? He's going to die, Sakura said, her voice full of worry and almost tears. Don't worry about him so much, he can take care of himself, Tsunade said in an attempt to comfort her. Besides, we're here to protect him also. But what if he does something stupid like go and try to attack them? Replied Sakura. Tsunade questioned, who'll be stupid enough to do that? She recalled who she was referring to as she was saying this. Naruto was the one. Now she began to think rapidly. Imagine yourself as Tsunade in Naruto's shoes. What would you be thinking? Tsunade tried to think like Naruto by placing herself in his shoes. First of all, I will definitely be afraid. Second, I wouldn't want my friends killed, so I would handle this myself and not tell anyone. Third, I can either wait for them to come get me or, gosh, Sakura was right. He was going to try to get them out, because I don't want to live in constant fear. Tsunade winced at the thought. He intended to attempt to eliminate Akatsuki on his own. Don't worry, Sakura, I'll have Enbu teams watching his moves so that he won't try to attack them, Tsunade responded quickly. Tsunade stated, in addition to what I already told you, he's really strong. Sakura questioned her sensei, how strong is he? When Tsunade said, well, he's the strongest genin I know, she burst out laughing at her own joke. Tsunade immediately noticed that Sakura wasn't in the mood for jokes. Gosh, can't you take a joke, Sakura? Okay, from what I've heard from Jiraiya, he said that Naruto was about Kakashi's level right now. Sakura concluded that Neji was correct and that he was talking about an elite Junin. But, that's still not enough to beat 9 class S criminals. For all we know, these Akatsuki members could be as strong as you, Jiraiya, Sama, and Snake Man. Tsunade answered, actually we are pretty sure that most of them are. Sakura gasped when Tsunade said that. He's only as strong as Kakashi. Sensei, he won't be able to take them. Well, you haven't been keeping up with your old sensei lately, have you? Tsunade responded. Not really, I talk with him all the time, but I really don't know what he's been doing lately, Sakura replied. What I meant was that Naruto is probably on par with the current Kakashi and not the Kakashi that you knew, Tsunade stated to Sakura. Is there that much of a difference between the current Kakashi Sensei and the Kakashi Sensei that I knew? Tsunade responded to Sakura. Well, the old Kakashi wouldn't even be able to do anything to me at all even if we fought 100 times. If we fought seriously, the new Kakashi would probably get the best of me about 1 in every 3 or 4 tries depending on the circumstances, Tsunade told her student. How can Kakashi get that much better? Sakura pondered. I'm sorry, Tsunade Sensei, but I don't see how Kakashi could improve that much in such a short time. I mean, I could see Naruto improving a lot, but that's because he's still young. Kakashi, on the other hand, is an adult. Wouldn't he be near his potential already a long time ago? Replied Sakura. Yes, that would be true of most people, but not in Kakashi's case. Let me ask you a question, Sakura. Do you know your previous sensei's past? Tsunade responded to her pupil. Sakura reflected. Now that I think about it, I know nothing of Kakashi Sensei's past. No, I don't, she said in response. Well, I'll give you a little history lesson on your old sensei. To put it simply, Kakashi is a genius ninja. If you thought that Sasuke was a genius, which I agree he is, he's nothing compared to Kakashi. Kakashi became a Chunin at age 6 and a Junin at age 13, Tsunade said to her pupil. Sakura's mouth fell open at that. Was Kakashi sensei born holding a kunai or something? Sakura pondered. Tsunade went on to explain, even though it was during war, times being a Chunin at age 6 was still unheard of and incredible. For example, Guy didn't become a Chunin until age 11, while Asuma didn't become a Chunin until age 12. Wondering if Sakura was aware, Tsunade inquired, do you know his nickname in the ninja world? I remember our first class C mission when we fought with one of the 7 swordsmen of the mist and he called Kakashi Sensei, copy ninja. He also stated how Kakashi had over 1,000 techniques. Sakura responded to her sensei. Tsunade questioned her, how many techniques have you seen from him? Sakura replied, only a few, about 4 or 5. Why do you think he has only demonstrated about 4 or 5 of his many techniques? Tsunade questioned her pupil. Rather than simply telling Sakura the facts, she preferred to provoke thought. Well, I figured that even though he copied over 1,000 techniques that most of them were useless. I'm also guessing that he doesn't want to show off, Sakura responded to Tsunade's query. Yes, you're right about copying useless jutsus, but there are some valuable ones that he has copied. He's done many S-rank missions and I'm pretty sure that he has copied some of those jutsus. I'll tell you why he has only shown a few techniques to you so far. Even though he has copied many techniques, the reason why he can't use them in battle is because he has a very low chakra level. If he used one of his the A-rank or S-rank jutsus that he has copied, it would drain him too much and he would be defenseless if it didn't work. For him, using a big jutsu or a devastating jutsu is a double-edged sword. Even though he's an elite Junin, his chakra level is about a lower Chunin only. I understand that his Sharingan does take some chakra out of him, but it shouldn't take that much even if he is an Uchiha. Because Kakashi was such a genius, he would beat his enemies with brains and as few jutsus as possible. Even though that's good because he's improving his intelligence by putting himself in a disadvantage, it could cause a big problem when facing a powerful enemy. Basically, he was very lazy and never trained. He still had the same chakra capacity as he had when he was a 6-year-old boy. Kakashi doesn't even need to learn any new jutsu. Just by increasing his chakra capacity he could use some of the A-rank and S-rank jutsus that he copied without worrying that much about going over his limit. Without anyone to tutor, he's been training hard non-stop for 3 years now, Tsunade explained to Sakura. Sakura comprehended. With so many jutsus up his sleeve, Kakashi only needed to boost his chakra reserves to be able to use them without having to worry about using them up. Sakura questioned, so, why has he been training for 3 years? Well, there was this one time when he went up against one of the Akatsuki members and was beat pretty badly. I think that's what made him start training. He probably felt that he would have stood a better chance if he could have just used some of his jutsus that he copied without worrying about using all of his chakra. But, I think that main reason is because he knew that Akatsuki were after Naruto. He wanted to do all that he could to protect him when that time came, Tsunade told Sakura. Sakura thought that, although not significantly, things were looking better. Naruto made the decision to visit Iruka after leaving Tsunade's office. When he arrived at the door, he cautiously opened it to check for students. Fortunately, there was only Iruka. Come in, Iruka said, not knowing who was at the door, still glancing down at his papers. With a loud, joyful voice, Naruto asked, is that what you say to your favorite student? At this, Iruka stiffened and hurried to embrace Naruto, saying, is that really you, Naruto? I've missed you so much. Naruto responded, of course it's me, Iruka. Sensei, who else can it be, as he was being held. After letting Naruto go, Iruka questioned, so, what have you been doing? Just been training and stuff like that so that I'll be stronger, said Naruto. What are your plans today? If you're not doing anything we can go and catch something at Ichiraku, Iruka told Naruto. As Naruto reflected, I already ate, but I didn't get to finish my meal when I was eating with Ino and them. Alright, let's go. He then left for Ichiraku with Iruka. Naturally, Naruto ordered 7 bowls of ramen when they arrived. Naruto asked Iruka, Sensei, what have you been up to? Well, I'm still doing the same thing, except now that I'm engaged, he smiled in response. To who? Inquired Naruto eagerly. Anko, answered Iruka. When Naruto heard this, he made an absurd face. Naruto thought, they're so different. He's so nice and protective, but that Chunin examiner had a hot head. Once you get to know her Naruto, I bet you'll like her, Iruka said with a smile. Although Naruto didn't think he could ever like that woman, he made the decision to be happy for Iruka if it happened. For the next hour, they avoided talking about Sasuke and carried on with their small talk. Okay Iruka. Sensei, I got to go and visit Kakashi now, take care, Naruto stated to him. Iruka retorted, anytime Naruto, don't be a stranger now. He was reflecting on the information he had just received from Tsunade as he made his way to Kakashi's house. It might take 2 months, and he didn't want to wait that long since Sasuke might have already been overrun by Snake. Man. He reasoned that he couldn't do anything at this time without knowing the location of the village. When he arrived at Kakashi's door, he knocked. With a cheerful, easygoing tone, Kakashi said, Hey, Naruto, glad you're back. Come in, as he opened the door. He said, thanks, to his former sensei. There was little change in his former sensei. He was still wearing the same clothes and had the same easygoing expression. Naruto couldn't tell, but something was different. Naruto entered Kakashi's residence. He had never been in his former sensei's home before, and he was surprised to find it to be rather small. There was a tiny living room and kitchen to the left as soon as you walked in. There were 2 doors down the corridor. Naruto guessed that it was his bathroom and bedroom. A single person couch, a small television, and a bookshelf filled with numerous books were the only pieces of furniture present. As Naruto gazed at the bookshelf brimming with books, he thought, that's what he's been spending his money on. Naruto thought, probably all the perverted stuff that Jiraiya writes. Kakashi said, so, I guess you must be strong now huh, to Naruto. Naruto smiled and scratched the back of his head. Well, actually that's exactly what I'm here for Kakashi. Sensei. The truth is I want to fight you, he said. Kakashi understood Naruto's motivation for fighting him. Naruto would soon have to battle Sasuke because he was the only one with the Sharingan. His goal was to test his abilities against a Sharingan user. In reality, Kakashi wanted to see how much Naruto had improved as well, so he didn't mind. Kakashi said, all right, let's head to the training ground for Team 7. When they arrived at the former training area, Team 7 conducted the bell test. They were standing in the center of the field, which was bordered by trees and a large river. Kakashi. Sensei, before we start I got something to say. I don't this to be just a regular spar or training session alright. I mean, I would like it if either one of us didn't die, but I don't want you to hold back until it's absolutely necessary. When I'm fighting Sasuke, he will come at me with everything he has, so I want you to also come at me with everything you have, Naruto said to his previous sensei. With that, Kakashi lifted his forehead protector to reveal his Sharingan. I understand Naruto, same for you too, he said. Okay, begin. With a few quick hand seals, Naruto threw a shuriken right away and declared, Shuriken Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. Shuriken Shadow Clone. The shuriken transformed into roughly 30 shurikens that headed directly for Kakashi. Kakashi placed his hands on the ground and uttered the words, Doden Kabe no Jutsu. Earth Wall. With a few hand seals. Just in front of Kakashi, a massive wall of earth appeared to block the shurikens. Naruto created a clone as the wall was rising and hurried to hide in the nearby tree. Already, his clone was racing toward Kakashi. After circling the enormous dirt wall, it threw a right punch at Kakashi, which Kakashi blocked with his left hand. The clone began attacking Kakashi. Kakashi kept dodging and blocking the clone's blow. After a minute or so of this, Naruto's clone became agitated and paused for a moment before yelling, Come on Kakashi. Sensei. Fight back. Little did he know that was exactly what Kakashi wanted him to do. When the clone stopped attacking, Kakashi took advantage of the situation by performing a few quick hand seals and declaring, Raiko Karazenki no Jutsu, lightning from above. As he did so, the clouds turned from ordinary clouds to dark rain clouds, and then a lightning bolt came straight down for Naruto's clone. The clone looked up and saw that it was going to hit him, but fortunately he had this type of training in the hidden village of Cloud, so he was able to quickly avoid it by jumping back. Now that he had begun his attack, Kakashi hurried up to the clone and threw a left straight punch, which the clone dodged. Then, he threw a left kick at the clone's side, to which the clone leapt up to avoid the dodge. Kakashi believed that his taijutsu had improved when he saw that a lightning bolt was approaching Naruto's clone. Sensing this, the clone grabbed Kakashi by his vest and held Kakashi over his head to take the lightning bolt, which struck Kakashi squarely. Use your techniques after thinking carefully. Otherwise it can be used against you, said the clone while smiling. Kakashi just looked at Naruto and smiled. It took about a second and Kakashi puffed into thin air. Damn, when did he use a clone? The clone thought. Then it hit him, he used it the same time I did, when the wall jutsu came up. Where is he then? Just then something grabbed the clone's foot from below and pulled him into the ground. Doden Shinjuzanshu no Jutsu, Earth Element, Suicidal Beheading, said the real Kakashi. Look underneath the underneath, Kakashi said to the clone, not knowing it wasn't the real Naruto. I did. Cage Bunshin Hairstew, Cage Bunshin Explosion. With that the clone exploded and Kakashi was thrown into the air. The real Naruto jumped out of his hiding place, did a few quick handseal and yelled, Suiryuden no Jutsu. Water Dragon Blast. A huge dragon came out of the river and strayed at Kakashi. Kakashi still haven't recovered from the Cage Bunshin explosion and took the Water Dragon Blast straight on. This attack knocked Kakashi to the floor. Naruto quickly started to run at Kakashi, realizing he had the advantage. Kakashi hurried to his feet, aware that Naruto was approaching, but to his surprise, he was unable to see where Naruto was. He felt an arm around his neck and gasped as Naruto tightened his arm, choking him from behind with a rear, naked blow. Shish. I'm in deep trouble, I gotta hurry or I won't last long, he thought, recalling that he had landed near a tree after being knocked down by the Dragon Blast. Knowing that this was his only chance, he gathered his chakra and leapt backwards as hard as he could, but Naruto's back struck the tree with great force. He tried not to let go of Kakashi, but for a brief moment, his grip relaxed, allowing Kakashi to give Naruto an elbow to the stomach, which caused Naruto to lose his grip completely and bend down, holding his stomach. Kakashi, who was catching his breath as Naruto slowly stood up, gave him a hard backhand while he was still holding his stomach, sending him 6 feet to the side. When Naruto stood up, Kakashi noticed blood dripping from the side of his mouth. Naruto grinned broadly and said to Kakashi, Nice move there, Kakashi. Sensei, I thought I had you. Despite his inability to see, Naruto could tell that Kakashi was grinning beneath his mask. Okay. Round 2, Naruto said, rushing at Kakashi and throwing a left punch straight at his face, but it was blocked. Then, sensing that he had the upper hand, he threw a right punch to Kakashi's stomach, which Kakashi barely avoided, and as he was dropping from the punch, he felt a hand on his right ankle. Naruto pulled Kakashi straight down from his mid-air flight by his ankles and slammed him hard to the ground. While on the ground, Kakashi performed a leg sweep, which caused Naruto to fall to the ground as well. He had taijutsu that was too good, Kakashi thought as they stood up, waiting for the other to attack. Damn, he thought to himself, I knew Jiraiya was going to teach him some strong ninjutsu, but I didn't expect his taijutsu to increase so much. If I don't think of something, I'm screwed. I would have expected him to be more exhausted from taking so many blows, but he doesn't even appear to be that exhausted yet, Naruto thought. Damn, he's different from before. While he was thinking this, he noticed that the dots in Kakashi's left eye were swirling, and he couldn't see straight. Shish. I'm under a genjutsu, Naruto thought, and when he looked up at Kakashi, he saw 3 of them waiting for him to attack. Damn, it's harder to control my chakra also. Oh well, guess I'll have to just attack him, he thought. As soon as he ran at Kakashi, he realized he had made a mistake, and the ground beneath him began to move. Knowing that his move would not last long, Kakashi began attacking Naruto, bringing out his kunai and attempting to stab him in the chest. To his surprise, however, Kakashi blocked it with his own kunai with his left hand, sending Naruto flying 7 feet and landing hard on the ground. This caused Naruto to cough up blood, and Kakashi immediately jumped and stomped on him with all of his weight, grabbing him by the shirt with his left hand and lifting him up. He attempted to stab Naruto's chest with his right hand, but was thwarted by his own kunai, and threw him to the ground 5 feet away. Naruto thought, damn, I feel like I have to throw up. He was slow to get up, but when he did, he saw that Kakashi was approaching him once more. Kakashi used his kunai to swipe at Naruto's left arm, which connected, and then attempted to stab Naruto's right thigh. Naruto tried to move out of the way, but was too slow, and the kunai struck deeply into Naruto's leg. Kakashi then threw a left punch to Naruto's face, which connected, but did not knock him down. Instead, it managed to throw him off balance. Sensing his advantage, Kakashi attempted to stab Naruto in the stomach, but Naruto blocked the attack with his kunai. As he was blocking all the attacks on his vital organs, Kakashi thought, what the hell is wrong? Then it hit him, and he realized that Naruto was only concentrating on his vital organs because he knew he couldn't dispel the genjutsu, and he was likely feeling the effects lessen as well. He's trying to stall for time until he can dispel it, Kakashi thought, as he heard Naruto say, Kai. Release. Naruto was panting after being freed from the genjutsu. Damn, what the hell was that? With a feeble voice, Naruto uttered, I hope that I'll never feel like that again. Naruto thought, I'm lucky that I've been training so much, I still have some strength left in me. He straightened up, feeling all the pain in his body. I can't look at his eyes and get trapped in that genjutsu again, he said. When Naruto performed a hand seal and uttered the words, Kokwangyu no Jutsu, absolute darkness, the entire area went dark. Kakashi reflected, I see. Naruto knows that I can fight in total darkness, but he is using the darkness to avoid my Sharingan and to make my Sharingan lose its predicting ability. Focus Naruto, I haven't made him bleed yet so I can't use my sense of smell, but focus and you will find him by sensing his chakra, Naruto thought to himself. There. Naruto quickly went left and did a jumping roundhouse kick which connected with Kakashi's shoulder. He landed and threw an uppercut right under Kakashi's chin. Naruto tried to kick Kakashi's face with his left leg, but Kakashi dodged it and gave Naruto a swift kick to the back of his knees. Kakashi hopped back a few times and thought to himself, what do I do? Even though he's more damaged, he has the advantage over me right now. Got it. He bit his thumb and said, summoning no jutsu. With that he slammed his hands to the ground and out came 3 dogs. The dogs all started to rush Naruto at once. One dog, a big yellow German shepherd, aimed his bite at Naruto's legs, which Naruto managed to dodge by doing a front flip. Just as he is about to land another dog, this time a big black bulldog aimed his bite at Naruto's chest, but Naruto put his right hand up and the dog bit his forearm instead. The third dog, a gray pit bull, jumped straight for Naruto's neck while the bulldog was still on Naruto's arm. Naruto managed to kick the pit bull which let out a little yelp when it was kicked. Stupid dog, let go of my forearm, Naruto thought. Just then he felt Kakashi coming in with a punch aimed at his stomach. Naruto managed to move the dog right in the way of Kakashi's punch which caused the dog to lose its grip. Naruto was aware that he was not very good at fighting animals. He had lost some of his natural fighting instinct ever since he began learning taijutsu, and as his analysis of human taijutsu developed, it gradually replaced his natural fighting instinct abilities. Naturally, Naruto would not want to change this, but in this case, it didn't help him, and there was nothing else to do. Release, Naruto said, and the darkness vanished, leaving him once more in the open, rainy field with Kakashi and 3 dogs surrounding him. Naruto wiped the blood from his mouth with his right thumb, slammed his hands into the ground, and said, summoning no jutsu. Suddenly, a huge frog appeared, squatting as tall as Naruto's waist. If it had stood up, it would have been slightly taller than Naruto. The frog was orange, with purple lips and purple markings just above its eyebrows, and it was wearing a blue jacket with no sleeves, which was open in the front. On the frog's back were 2 long swords, one of which was entirely black, and the other was entirely white. Given that a frog's sense of smell was poor and completely useless in comparison to a dog, as well as that a frog's primary sense is sight, Naruto released his absolute darkness jutsu because he knew that summoning a frog in total darkness would be suicide. Hey, Naruto, you need help? Gamakichi inquired of Naruto. Yes, you tend to the animals as usual, all right. It's easier for you to fight them because you're also an animal. I will look after Kakashi. Sensei. Even though he's my sensei, we're taking this seriously, so use everything you have, Naruto informed Gamakichi. Gotcha, Gamakichi said to Naruto, drawing both of his swords, leaping at Pit Bull and using the one in his right hand to attack downward, causing the dog to hop slightly to the left to avoid the blow. Gamakichi then used the sword in his left hand to make a horizontal at the Pit Bull, who made a pop and vanished, leaving only 2 dogs. Kakashi said, My, your companion there is good, referring to Gamakichi. Yes, Naruto said with a smile, we have been training together. Sometimes I would give him a call, and we would work out together. However, as you can see, I need his assistance when I fight with animals, so I don't want him to grow accustomed to fighting people. Gamakichi was surrounded by 2 dogs, the German Shepherd on his right and the Bulldog on his left. The German Shepherd jumped and aimed his attack at his face after a few seconds, but Gamakichi was able to duck low enough that the dog went over his head. He then stabbed the German Shepherd's belly with the sword in his right hand, and there was a pop, and the German Shepherd vanished. Kakashi, realizing that his other dog couldn't hurt Gamakichi, made some hand seals, placed his hands on the ground, and said, Unsummon. With a smile, Gamakichi said to Naruto, You want my assistance with your sensei as well? Naruto responded, It's alright Gamakichi, I think I'll take it from here and thanks for your help. Gamakichi made a pop and vanished after saying, Okay, whatever, call me if you need me again. Naruto, was that a smart move? Kakashi questioned him in a slack manner. Yes, I do not want Gamakichi to suffer any harm. Despite not being able to die, summons can suffer severe injuries. A serious injury to him would make it impossible for me to face myself. I only call him when I'm fighting animals because of this, Naruto said to Kakashi. Naruto was close to his limit, and Kakashi could see that he was, too. This fight is going to end pretty soon, Kakashi thought. Pulling something from his right pocket, Naruto wrapped the forehead protector with the hidden village of the clouds markings over his eyes. Naruto knew this would be bad, but he had no choice. If Kakashi used that genjutsu on him again, it would be disastrous. He performed a few hand seals and said, Degeki K's no jutsu, blowing wind. As Kakashi said that, Naruto felt the force of the wind blowing on his face. Kakashi grinned and thought, wise choice, but can you take me like that, Naruto? It was going to be difficult, Naruto knew. Unlike the last time he couldn't see, Kakashi could see while he couldn't, and even if he used his ears to find out where Kakashi was going, light traveled much faster than sound, and these few milliseconds would cost him. To make matters worse, Kakashi used that wind jutsu, which prevented Naruto from locating him by scent. He hoped that Kakashi forgot that Kakashi had used blood when he summoned his dog, and the jutsu made it much harder to hear when Kakashi was about to attack, forcing him to rely only on his chakra, which he was concealing. Kakashi went straight to Naruto's left side and attempted to kick him in the stomach. Sensing this, Naruto blocked the kick with both arms and attempted to sweep Kakashi's leg. Kakashi leapt over the sweep and swung an axe at Naruto's shoulder, but Naruto stopped the attack by catching it with both hands. He then swung Kakashi and threw him 10 feet back while grabbing his leg, flipping and landing on his feet. His taijutsu is comparable to mine despite his blindness. If nothing is done, this could take an eternity, Kakashi reflected. Remove your blindfold, Naruto. It seems like it will be a very long time before either of us loses. Now that we're both nearly depleted of chakra, how about we wrap this up with the next attack? Kakashi questioned his old pupil. Naruto would not have removed his blindfold if someone else had told him to, but he knew that Kakashi would never be cheap, so he did so, grinned, and said, okay, let's do it then. Chakra began to form in Kakashi's left hand, and then there was a clatter like 1,000 birds, and the chakra, which was shaped like a blade, was radiating lightning. As Naruto began to gather chakra in his right hand, a stunning round ball composed entirely of chakra appeared, and if one looked at it, they could see chakra perfectly swirling inside of it. When the two jutsus collided, a massive white light erupted, and Kakashi continued to pour more and more chakra into his jutsu while Naruto did the same. After 10 seconds, there was a bang so loud that people in the Hokage Tower could hear it. They both ran at each other at full speed, with Kakashi shouting, Chidori, and Naruto shouting, Rasengan. After being flung 50 feet back by the explosion, Naruto and Kakashi were both unconscious on the ground. Bang! Came the loud sound as it reached the Hokage Tower, where Tsunade was busy going through her papers, Sakura filing them for her, Shizune behind her, going over each one as Tsunade signed her name. When the three of them looked out her window to see where the sound was coming from, they saw that it was coming from the training area, where they could also make out a large white light that was beginning to fade. Tsunade told her assistant and her student, Shizune, Sakura, go over there and see what happened, and she was not pleased by the noise. Sakura and Shizune said, yes, right away, and headed to the scene of the explosion, where they discovered a massive crater about 20 feet across, an unconscious Naruto 50 feet from the crater, and an unconscious Kakashi 50 feet from the crater, but on the other side. While I get Kakashi, Sakura goes to get Naruto. After telling Sakura to take him right away to the hospital, Shizune went to pick up Kakashi and Sakura picked up Naruto, and the two of them went to the hospital. What? As soon as Shizune and Sakura told Tsunade what had happened, she went straight to the hospital and entered the room where Kakashi and Naruto were staying, both of them unconscious with tubes in their mouths. When Tsunade walked in the door, a medical nurse said, they'll be okay, Tsunade. Sama, adding, they're just unconscious, that's all. No major injuries except for a few scratches, bruises, and overexertion of chakra. Tsunade looked at Naruto and saw that he had been cut and stabbed in a lot of different places, some big and some small, but she sighed, thinking that at least he hadn't been hit in any vital areas. She then looked at Kakashi, thinking that he didn't look as bad as Naruto, but she soon changed her mind after seeing that he had bruises all over him, from his arms to his stomach. After a few days, Naruto and Kakashi began to wake up, and Sakura was already in the room, seated on a chair. Looking at her face, Naruto could see that she was unhappy. Unsure of what to say or the reason behind her anger, he asked, did I do something wrong? Naruto, why didn't you tell me? Sakura's voice was hurt. Oh, sorry, Kakashi and I were just sparring. kind of went overboard, but, said Naruto, who had no idea what she was talking about. Sakura cut Naruto off, saying, I don't care what you guys were doing. Why didn't you tell me that there were 9 class S ninjas after? Don't think you're off the hook, Kakashi. Sensei. I know you knew, so why didn't you tell me? I thought we were a team. Do you not treat teammates that way? She spoke in an extremely hurt tone, and Naruto could see that she was on the verge of tears, with water in her eyes and just a tear dropping. I apologize, Sakura, but I had no business telling you. Tsunade. Sama forbids it, too, Kakashi added. I should just shut up. Yeah, that's what I'll do, Kakashi thought, and Sakura gave him a very angry look. When she heard Naruto's voice, she returned her attention to him. Naruto addressed her in a defeated tone, saying, I'm sorry, I really am, but this is my problem, Sakura. Naruto. Why do you do that? Why do you always lend a helping hand to others, but you try to take care of yourself first? Sakura said in a very dejected tone. You have friends who would sacrifice their lives to help you, but they can't help if they don't know anything. The issue is that they are prepared to sacrifice themselves in order to assist me. Naruto replied, I don't want them to die because of me. The stupidest explanation I've ever heard is that. Sakura said loudly, emphasizing the word, stupidest. You know what, if you don't tell them then I will. Naruto yelled, no, you won't, Sakura, now feeling very irate. Yes, I will, Sakura said bluntly in response. Naruto said, no, you won't, again, his voice rising. Yes, I will, and you won't be able to stop me, added Sakura. You know I shouldn't even be telling guys this for leaving me in the dark, but since you're awake now I suggest you two leave and hide for a moment before, she said as she stood up and began to leave the room. Before what, Sakura? The door flew open with such serious force that it caused the hair of Naruto and Kakashi to lift. Tsunade was standing at the door, her face as angry as ever. Tsunade addressed her pupil. Sakura's tiny voice said, oh nothing Tsunade. Sama, I should get going now, and she rushed past her sensei without glancing at her, knowing that her full fury would soon rear its ugly head. Kakashi and Naruto couldn't stop thinking, oh man, we're in deep shit now. What on earth were you two up to? With an extremely loud voice, Tsunade said. We were sparring, Chan, don't worry about us, Naruto stated in his normal tone. Sparring and attempting to murder one another are two different things. Tsunade informed Naruto, I can't have two of my best ninjas attempting to murder one another. In a different circumstance, Naruto would have been overjoyed to hear Tsunade refer to him as one of her strongest ninjas. Don't worry, we weren't trying to kill each other, Naruto reassured her when he spoke. So, using Rasengan and Chidori together isn't seen as an attempt to murder one another? Tsunade inquired without anticipating a response. Naruto thought, like I said, don't worry, we both agreed to it, at least her voice was quieter now. Tsunade shot Kakashi a sharp glance. Naruto, please stop talking so we don't both get into more trouble, Kakashi thought. Just let her yell at us, please. Tsunade responded to Naruto, it doesn't matter if you both agreed on it or not, before turning to face Kakashi. So, is that correct, Kakashi? I had a sneaking suspicion from the beginning, but was what Naruto said correct? I would like to hear it directly from you. Tsunade asked Kakashi in her normal voice, did you agree to have this type of spar with Naruto? But he could feel her rage behind them. Yes, Tsunade. Sama, Naruto is correct. He requested a spar when he arrived at my house. We both decided before we started that we would not hold back, even if it meant that one of us might not survive. In his slack tone, Kakashi replied to Tsunade, of course, we tried not to kill each other, but we didn't hold anything in our arsenal. I would have expected this out of someone like Naruto, but of all the people I would not have expected it from you, Tsunade replied to him. To be honest with you, Tsunade. Sama, I truly wanted to put Naruto to the test as well. Naruto asked me to spar, and I couldn't say no, even though I would never have suggested it to him. I was eager to test my skills and see how strong he had grown. He was interested in seeing how much he had grown and how he had handled a Sharingan user. Both of us desired that. Additionally, he is the only person who can compete with me on an equal footing at this time. I am aware that you will not give me your best effort. Kakashi informed Tsunade, I wanted to fight a ninja who was a ninjutsu powerhouse like me. Even though Guy is a good rival, he primarily uses taijutsu. What you both desire is irrelevant to me. Kakashi and Naruto were both told by Tsunade not to do that again. Well, Naruto, you're going to go on missions with Kakashi because you haven't been assigned to a team since you returned. Naruto, are you okay with that? She knew the answer when she asked him. Grinning, Naruto uttered, "Yes, okay Ba-chan." Tsunade said, "Well, I'm off," and then she walked out of the hospital room, leaving Kakashi and Naruto alone. Naruto turned to face Kakashi and said, "Well, that didn't go as bad as I thought." "No, it didn't," Kakashi answered. "In any case, Naruto, you've come a long way. You have excellent taijutsu. Where did you find out?" "After I mastered the majority of Arrow Senin's ninjutsu, he instructed me to spend some time training with his friend in the hidden village of Cloud. However, you've also made great progress. I doubt you could have performed so many jutsu moves and still be fighting today." Naruto told Kakashi, "If my memory serves me correctly, I don't really remember you using that much jutsus in any of your fights." "Yay, I've been training for the last 3 years," Kakashi replied to Naruto. Naruto questioned, "Why have you been training for the past 3 years?" before giving it any thought. Naruto said softly, "Oh, thank you Kakashi Sensei," as Kakashi simply grinned beneath his mask. "Don't stress over it." They both got out of bed and dressed after Kakashi said, "Let's go to Tsunade-sama's office and see if she has any missions for us." After their incident, which was about a month and a half later, Kakashi was impressed by Naruto's growth. He knew that Naruto was already a very good ninja fighter, but he didn't anticipate that Naruto would be so analytical in his missions. During their missions, Kakashi occasionally let Naruto lead instead of him, and once, he was shocked when Naruto came up with a better plan of action than he had. At Ichiraku, Naruto had just finished his ramen when he noticed Shikamaru approaching him. Shikamaru said to Naruto, "Hey, Naruto, Tsunade-sama wants you in her office." After Sakura informed the entire Rookie 9 and Team Guy that 10 class S ninjas were pursuing Naruto, Shikamaru was among the first people to speak with him. His friends were upset with him for keeping the information from them and stopped talking to him for a week after she did so. She continued to withhold the information from the group because she believed it was his right. "Are you aware of her desires?" Naruto questioned him. "Nope, she didn't tell me," retorted Shikamaru. "What is it Ba-chan? Another mission?" Naruto asked Tsunade as he walked into her office. When Tsunade said, "Yes, it is Naruto, the one that you've been waiting for." "You mean?" Naruto's eyes widened slightly upon hearing her words. "Yes," Tsunade said, "rescuing Sasuke is your next mission." "You discovered the locations of the hideouts?" Naruto inquired in a laid-back manner. "When Jiraiya returns, you can leave. In a month, he will arrive. In order to see his old friend, he also wanted to accompany you. Regarding the final query, we are aware of the location of the hideout. When Jiraiya arrives, I will brief you on the mission." Tsunade said to Naruto, "I know it's been on your mind, so I just wanted to let you know." Naruto said, "Thanks, Ba-chan," with a joyful tone. Tsunade informed him, "You can leave now. There aren't many missions today, so you're free." Remembering his pledge, Naruto asked Tsunade before he left, "Hey, you already know how I was working for another hidden village, right? I was wondering if my 2 teammates from the hidden village of Cloud could also come with me on this mission," Tsunade said, nodding her head for him to continue. "I assured one of them that whenever I went to save him, I would send a message." "Sure, just make sure that they're okay with it also," Tsunade told him, acknowledging that they were short on ninjas in the village and that this mission would likely only involve 4 groups, so it would be beneficial if everyone on the team knew each other's techniques. Naruto left the Hokage Tower and headed home, deciding to use one of the messenger eagles to deliver his message to Yugito. He went home first to write his letter, then he went to the tree where all the eagles were perched and climbed it. As he tied the letter to its feet, he said, "Take this letter to Yugito in the hidden village of Cloud, okay?" The eagle extended its wing and began to fly north after Naruto completed affixing the letter to its feet. After 2 weeks, even though he knew it would take roughly 2 weeks to travel from the hidden village of Cloud to the hidden village of Leaf, Naruto was still waiting anxiously for his former teammates outside for Yugito and Kaito to arrive. It was already 7 o'clock at night when he decided they wouldn't make it to Konoha that day. Naruto had already received his response approximately 3 days after he sent his letter. When Naruto noticed 2 shadows about a half-mile away, he began to leave the entrance and hurried to the shadow figures in the hopes that they were his old teammates. He recognized them as he approached, and as he was still running toward them, he called out, "Hey, Yugito! Hey, Kaito! Sensei!" He arrived at them in a flash and grinned, saying, "Hi, long time no see." "Hi, Naruto. How are you doing?" With a smile on his face, Kaito spoke in his normal tone. "Hi, Naruto. I thought that you would forget that promise you made to me," Yugito replied. I never break promises, didn't I tell you? Naruto smiled as he asked her. Yugito said, yes, but it was so long ago, in a softer tone, embarrassed that she believed Naruto might have forgotten. Kaito informed him, anyway, I got to go back home. Naruto. What? Kaito. Sensei, I thought you were joining us. Naruto questioned incredulously. I'm afraid I can't. I am needed in the village. Kaito told him, I came with Yugito just to protect her. Observing Naruto's disillusioned expression, he reassured him, saying, don't worry, you guys will be fine. In any case, Jiraiya is accompanying you all. Okay, I suppose I'll begin my journey back. See you, Naruto. Naruto told his sensei, wait, don't leave just yet, at least stay so I can show you around first. I apologize, Naruto, but I have to return as soon as possible. After saying, Raikage's order, Kaito waved to Naruto and said, all right, I hope you save your teammate Naruto. I expect to see him occasionally because I know you. After saying goodbye, he headed north, stopping after a short distance and saying, oh Naruto, would you mind escorting Yugito back when this is over? Naruto, no problem, Kaito. Sensei, replied. Although Kaito knew that Orochimaru was an extremely talented ninja, they already had Jiraiya on their side, so he decided that it would be better for them to spend time together without him. In reality, Kaito could have gone with Naruto and Yugito. I suppose you can meet my friends and I'll show you around Konoha. Come follow me, Naruto exclaimed in an animated tone to his erstwhile teammate Yugito. When they saw Choji, they were strolling down the street. Since Naruto had been gone for 3 years, Choji had changed a lot. He had grown out his hair, making his brown hair reach the back of his neck. He also wore a white vest with his family's symbol on the front. Most of his clothes now resembled those of a samurai, which fit him, but Choji was a tank and not an agile ninja. The biggest change was how he wore his forehead protector, which he used to wear like a diaper on his head. Hey Choji, are you aware of everyone's location? Naruto inquired. Yes, I was going to go have dinner with them at the barbecue restaurant. With whom are you? Choji asked Naruto a question. I wanted to meet everyone for that reason. Naruto told Choji, I wanted everyone to meet Yugito, my former teammate. Hi, a friend of Naruto is a friend of mine, Choji said, extending his right hand. Hello Choji, Yugito said, shaking his hand, thanks for the warm welcome. Naruto informed them, well, let's get going then, I want you to meet everyone. When Yugito, Choji, and Naruto arrived at the barbecue restaurant, they discovered that everyone else had already arrived. It's unbelievable that you're the last person here, Choji. That's a first, I believe, Ino said to Choji. Choji replied, Dad wouldn't let me out until I finished my chores, to his teammate. Hey, were you unaware that you were seeing Naruto? In an attempt to make him uneasy, Shikamaru spoke in a slack voice, but it was unsuccessful. Anyway, Shikamaru, this is Yugito, a former teammate of mine. These are my friends, Yugito. It's unbelievable that everyone is here. Naruto grinned and said, I assumed that some of you might be on missions or something. Tenten told him, there hasn't been many missions lately. She was wearing the standard Anbu outfit, which consisted of a cut-off shirt and completely blue pants with a white vest covering the shirt. She also had a long black sword on her back and a white forearm protector on each side of her arms. She was wearing an Anbu mask sideways, exposing her face, and it was shaped like an eagle with a few black lines running from the cheeks all the way back. Naruto told Tenten, since you're in Anbu and everything, I can take your word for it. Yugito sat next to Naruto, who allowed them to introduce themselves before he and his friends sat down. How do you feel about Konoha, then? Ino questioned Yugito. I just barely arrived, so I haven't been around yet. I believe I'll check it out tomorrow because it's quite late. I suppose it's alright so far, Yugito answered. How do you feel about Naruto? Kiba smirked and asked. Sakura hit him for it, saying, don't ask such rude questions, Kiba. Sakura was shocked when Yugito began to respond. Well, Naruto makes a good teammate. Additionally, I can trust him. I suppose he's fairly strong. Just fairly powerful? Naruto asked his erstwhile teammate. Yugito responded, yes, only pretty strong, to which everyone, including Neji and Shino, laughed. To everyone's surprise, Hinata said in a low, quiet voice, you must be very strong, Yugito, if you classified Naruto as only pretty strong. Yugito's response was, no, not really, I'm okay I guess. Lee cut everyone off, saying, Yugito-san, I've noticed that Naruto's taijutsu has greatly improved. I assume it was as a result of our training together. When you're free, I'd like to compare my abilities to yours, if that's okay. Sure. Lee-san, we can spar whenever, Yugito said with a smile. However, not today, okay, as I need to settle in first. Thanks for your acceptance, of course, Lee said, his eyes blazing with fire. When you're ready, I'll wait. The restaurant was starting to close after nearly 2 hours of gossiping, so everyone decided it was time to leave. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow, Naruto said to the group as he and Yugito walked alone in the dark, each alone with their thoughts. Bad news. Kaito isn't here. Without him around, I don't know if I can keep this feeling in check. Or is that good news? No, stupid, I can't do something like that to Kaito. I can't try to steal his girlfriend. He's my sensei and taught me most of my taijutsu. I can't stab him in the back like that, Naruto thought. We've always been with Kaito when we went on missions together, so I wonder if we can function well as a team without him around. Will we succeed now that he's gone? Yugito pondered. After 5 minutes, they arrived at Naruto's house, where he unlocked the door, pulled out his keys, and declared, "This is my home. Make yourself at home, even though it's not as large as yours." It was smaller than her home, with a tiny living room and kitchen when she entered, and very little furniture other than the necessities of life, such as a stove, a refrigerator, and a small table with 2 chairs. She noticed 2 doors down the hallway. "You can sleep in my room while I sleep out here in the living room, Yugito," Naruto stated to her. Yugito answered, "No, it's okay, Naruto. I can sleep in the living room." "No, you're a guest, you need to be comfortable," Naruto emphasized. Naruto persuaded her to sleep in the bedroom after they argued for an hour about who should do so. "I hope I don't have any nightmares. Please don't let me have any nightmares." Yugito was still awake in Naruto's room, while Naruto was sound asleep on the floor of the living room. A loud knock on the door interrupted Naruto's cooking. He hurried to the door and said, "Hold up," opening it to reveal who it was. "Is Yugito present, Naruto?" Sakura, who was with Ino, inquired. Naruto said, "Come in, I'll get her for you," and they entered his living room. He then went to his bedroom, where Yugito followed him a moment later, and returned to the kitchen to cook. Yugito said, "Oh hi Sakura, hi Ino," as she walked into the living room. "Hi Yugito," both of them said. "Sakura and I wanted to know if you had any plans for today. We were just wondering if you would like to go shopping with us today if you have nothing else to do," Ino questioned Yugito. Yugito's expression was worried. "Shopping?" She thought, "I don't do that very often." When Sakura saw her expression, she said, "Come on, it will be enjoyable. You don't want to spend your entire day with Naruto, do you?" Naruto responded, "Hey, I am here after Sakura's remarks about him." Sakura turned back to Yugito and said, "I know," asking what he thought. Yugito said in a tiny voice, "I guess it couldn't hurt," which made Sakura and Ino smile broadly. They seized her arm and hurried her to the door. They heard Naruto say, "You'll regret it, Yugito," in a somewhat cheerful tone, just before they left. Together, Ino and Sakura responded loudly, "Shut up Naruto, she will not regret it," and as they exited, they slammed the door. They went to their first clothes store, a sexy lingerie store, where Sakura and Ino kept urging Yugito to try on clothes she never would have imagined wearing. "Come on, Yugito. We can already see that you have the body for it. Why don't you dress in something that flaunts it?" Ino addressed Yugito. "I don't know, it doesn't suit me," stated Yugito. She was told by Sakura to just try it on, and they persisted in pressuring her until she did. She went to the dressing room and tried on a few of them, and to her surprise, they weren't too bad. She didn't like wearing it, but she thought it looked good. "So, are you going to hide in there all day and keep it to yourself, or are you going to come out so we can see it?" While she was trying on her 3rd pair of lingerie in the dressing room, Ino asked her, "What? Go out there so they can see it?" Yugito wondered, are they serious or are they just playing a trick on me? Sakura told her, "We want to see how it looks like, so hurry up, Yugito." Yugito thought, "I guess they're serious." Sakura and Ino were waiting eagerly, as if it were Christmas Day, when she opened the door. "You look fantastic in that, Yugito." It was a red robe lingerie with long sleeves, made of a see-through material, and had only 2 buttons that could be buttoned close to the chest, causing the robe's body to slant behind her back and expose her stomach when buttoned. The panties were also red, but slightly darker than the robe. "You should really get it," Ino said. "You believe so?" Yugito inquired. "Yes you should," Sakura replied candidly. Even though Yugito didn't enjoy shopping, he tried on a few more lingeries just to kill time. Sakura and Ino tried on a lot of them, compared them, and determined which ones were good and which were bad. When they were done shopping, Yugito only purchased the red outfit, even though she really wasn't going to buy it, but Ino and Sakura wouldn't let her go until she did. Sakura and Ino, on the other hand, each purchased 2 outfits. So Yugito, for whom are you going to wear that? Ino smirked as they stepped outside. Will you don it in honor of Naruto? No, she shot back, I doubt I'll wear it for anybody. You were a little too quick to respond there, Yugito? Sakura uttered those words. No, seriously, said Yugito. Sure Yugito, sure, we believe you, Sakura and Ino simply said, laughing. We won't tell him, but you can tell us. It's specific to girls. Hey, I assume you haven't eaten yet. What do you think about going to a restaurant since we sort of dragged you out of Naruto's house before he finished cooking? You're a guest, so I'll treat you. We won't be eating ramen, so don't worry, Ino assured Yugito. Yugito smiled and said, all right, I'm a little hungry. They went to a local and began ordering, Sakura and Ino ordering salad, Yugito ordering steak with a side plate of fried rice, thinking, my god, how do they survive on just rabbit food? Don't they need energy to train? Who do you think is the best looking guy in Konoha in our age group? Ino asked Yugito as they waited for the food. They're all pretty nice, Yugito said. I asked who the best looking guy was, not if he was nice. With a broad smile, Ino asked her once more. To which Yugito replied, I really don't know. You think Naruto is attractive, don't you? You'll feel better if you just say it, Yugito. I'll admit that Naruto's appearance has improved over time. Sakura told her, I might even go for Naruto now if I didn't know him from before. Well, I think Shikamaru's the best looking guy in our age group, Ino replied. Yes, we are already aware of that. Shikamaru is fine, but he's a slacker. But since we weren't discussing personalities, I'd have to say Neji because I adore his hair, Sakura told Ino. How does he manage to keep his hair like that? Compared to ours, it is much nicer and finer. Will he allow us to touch it? When Sakura mentioned Neji's hair, Ino was combing through her own hair and said, let's ask him what conditioner he uses. He refuses to tell us. He will probably say something like, it's all natural, but I know that's not possible given Hinata's hair. They're first cousins, and although her hair is similar to ours, his is silky. However, his attitude isn't entirely positive either. Sakura was using her hands to brush her hair when she said to Ino, he's too businesslike and doesn't know how to loosen up. Talking about Hinata, if you don't hurry Yugito, I think she might go for Naruto, Ino told Yugito. Ino's words caused Yugito's heartbeat to quicken slightly. I doubt it, she doesn't have the courage to, Sakura remarked, adding, I can't see Naruto and Hinata together, even though she's a nice girl. Simply put, Naruto is too cheerful and she is too shy. I don't think Hinata could have a productive conversation with Naruto, who needs someone to talk to. Yugito, I see him with you. Sakura told Yugito, I can tell he's really happy when he's with you, and you two would make a great couple. You say that, but why? Then Yugito asked her. Naruto never stops laughing and smiling, but it wasn't until I saw you with him that I noticed a genuine smile on his face. He smiled genuinely when he introduced you to us. I understand why, given everything he's going through. With things like saving Sasuke and, before Sakura could finish her sentence, Ino kicked her in the shin beneath the table. And what? Yugito wanted to know what her former teammates were thinking. In any case, Naruto is a handsome man who doesn't have as many personality issues as other attractive men. Oh nothing, forget it, Sakura said hastily. Yugito will soon be off the market if you don't act quickly. Following their meal, they went shopping once more, but this time they only bought everyday clothing rather than lingerie. They spent the entire day shopping, and by the time Yugito got back to Naruto's house, it was already about 8 o'clock. She noticed Naruto in the kitchen preparing some food, so she opened the door, placed her shopping bag on the floor, and sat down in the kitchen chair. Hi Yugito, you've returned. How did it go, then? When he asked Yugito, Naruto nearly burst out laughing. It was okay, replied Yugito. You hated it, didn't you? Don't lie. It wouldn't hurt me if you said that it was boring and unpleasant because they are my friends. Despite my warning, you went. Naruto told her, you deserve it, haha. Alright, I didn't enjoy it. I had no idea that your girlfriends only talked about guys and clothes. They talked about hair, makeup, face wash, nail polish, clothes, perfume, and manicures for hours on end. Yugito acknowledged, I felt like I didn't really fit in with them. Oh, it's great, don't worry. They feel obligated to educate others when they come across someone who dislikes these kinds of things. Naruto asked her in jest, so you want to go on another trip with them to learn these things? Yugito said, no, I think I'll pass, and as she did, Naruto placed a plate of pork and fried vegetables in front of her. I had never seen Naruto cook at my house, so she decided to eat because she thought it would look rude to not eat. She picked up the chopsticks and took a piece of pork, which she then ate, and to her surprise, it was delicious. Better than at a fancy restaurant. She was taken aback when Naruto returned to join her with a bowl of instant ramen, sitting directly across from her, and gave him a funny look. This guy, who was presumably one of the best chefs, chose to eat instant ramen. What? Is there a problem? When he noticed that she was giving him a funny look, Naruto inquired. Well, I wasn't sure you could cook at first, but I was shown to be mistaken. Where did you get your cooking skills? I also wanted to know why someone with your level of cooking skills would prefer to eat instant ramen. She questioned him. I'll start by responding to your second query. The answer is fairly simple. I enjoy ramen a lot. I decided to cook you something different because I assumed you were probably sick of it. Arrow. Senin taught me the answer to the first question. You can learn how to be a good cook by spending time in the woods with him and not eating ramen. Naruto responded to her query by saying, he was a great chef, saying it helps with the ladies. Pretty stupid if you ask me. Why didn't you cook while you were staying at our house? Yugito asked him a question. I can't just browse your refrigerator right now, can I? In addition, I enjoy your cooking and Kaito anyhow, Naruto replied. Yugito was too preoccupied to notice Naruto going to her bag, so he reached his hand inside the bag and said, so what did you buy? Naruto finished his ramen before she finished her dish, and he noticed the bag on the floor near the door. Yugito jumped out of her chair and grabbed the bag with a horrified expression. Has anyone not warned you that going through someone else's belongings is unpleasant? With a high voice, Yugito said. Come on, you can show me what you have. We're teammates. I should have refrained from opening my mouth so wide before I even realized it. Now, could you show me? Naruto inquired. No, Yugito said, making a declaration. Just let me know what kind of clothes you like, Yugito. With a soft tone, Naruto asked. I said no, Naruto, Yugito took back. When Naruto said, pretty please, his eyes began to well up like a cute dog. Yugito informed him, the answer is no and I'll never show you what I bought today. Alright, be that way. I believed that we were teammates. Naruto informed her that teammates don't conceal secrets from one another. Yugito told Naruto, don't try to pull a guilt trip on me, it won't work. While Yugito didn't respond to his questions, Naruto spent the next 2 hours speculating about what might be in her bag. She said to him, okay, Naruto, I'm going to bed. I shouldn't have alerted you when I had the chance, was all Naruto could say, thinking about what was in the mystery bag while his arms were crossed. Yugito told him, good night, Naruto, and good luck, before going to his bedroom. Naruto said, well good night then, Yugito, as she was heading out. Yugito spent the following 2 weeks sparring with Lee and Naruto in her spare time. She primarily did this to avoid going shopping and bringing up the subject of boys with Sakura and Ino once more. She also enjoyed sparring Lee. Her taijutsu and Naruto's were entirely different from Lee's. Lee's taijutsu featured more hard hits and straight punches than hers, which was more of a finesse and fluid movement. Naruto's taijutsu differed from both her and Lee's. He preferred grappling over them both. She enjoyed these sparring matches overall. Kakashi appeared behind Naruto and Yugito as they were eating at Ichiraku. It's time Naruto, Hokage. Sama wants you in her office. He asked, alright, let's go then. You ready, Yugito? She gave a nod. They flew into the Tsunade's office in the Hokage Tower. He could see Sakura and Jiraiya were already in the room when he walked in. Naruto looked at Tsunade and noticed that her cheeks were a little pink and her eyes were red, as if she had just been crying. Naruto pondered, perhaps she had a drink just before the meeting. He then looked around the room. He was surprised to find Kakashi gone. He went to stand beside Sakura's left side with Yugito. Sakura's right side was Jiraiya. The question Naruto asked Tsunade was, is Kakashi-sensei going with us? She answered calmly, no, Jiraiya is taking his place. Kakashi will be doing some other mission. This did not sit well with Naruto. The fact that he believed Kakashi would accompany him and Sakura because he was pursuing all of the former sensei for Team 7 was more bothersome to him than the fact that Jiraiya was accompanying them. I know what you're thinking, Naruto, but it's the only way. Sorry, Kakashi can't come on this trip. The mission that he's on right now is very important, Jiraiya stated to him. Oh bah. Chan, this is my teammate from the hidden village of Cloud. Sorry I didn't bring her to you before. My friends wanted to take her out and we didn't have the time, Naruto stated to Tsunade. Was I hearing him correctly? Yugito pondered. Was she referred to as Chan by him? The Hokage of the hidden village of Leaf, if I recall correctly, was a Sennin, just like Jiraiya. Tsunade. Sama, after Jiraiya. Sama. He must possess a survival skill. Even though Naruto has insulted 2 Sennin already, insulting a Sennin does not make one live long. I don't think you should call her that Naruto, nor should you call Jiraiya Sama, Arrow, Sennin, Yugito replied to him. Naruto simply chuckled at her. You know, you're pretty funny sometimes, Yugito, for such a serious shinobi. You call them what you want and I'll call them what I want. Deal. They were interrupted by Tsunade, who said, Naruto, I already like your friend. She has manners. Okay. Here are the briefings for the mission. This is going to be an S-class mission because you're going against a Sennin, Tsunade stated to the crew. Unlike cages, Orochimaru doesn't operate in his village. Only a few number of his most trusted followers know where he is at, mainly only Kabuto. Sasuke is also most likely there because Orochimaru is probably protecting his most precious vessel. Most of the time when he wants something done by the hidden village of Sound, he gives his order to his subordinate Kabuto to handle the job. Orochimaru's location is 3 miles west of the hidden village of Sound. Here, she pointed to the map that showed where the spot was located. Your mission is easy, kill Orochimaru and Kabuto. Try to bring Sasuke back, but if he's a threat to your life also, you may kill him. Naruto wiped his hands slightly in opposite directions as if the task had already been completed. Yeah, real easy. Just kill a Sennin and subordinate, and rescue his strong container. Got it, he said. Sakura said to her sensei, Tsunade. Sama, shouldn't we bring some of our friends to help us rescue Sasuke? Naruto responded to her query rather than Tsunade. No, we shouldn't have more than 4 people. The more people that we have, the slower we move and the easier it is for enemy patrols to locate us. If they happen to locate us, backup would arrive and we would be fighting a whole hidden village. Our mission is not to fight the whole hidden village, but to rescue Sasuke. Yes, Naruto is correct, Sakura. Any more people and enemy patrols might locate you guys. This mission is going to consist only 4 people, Tsunade stated to her. Tsunade told the group, okay, you can leave when you're ready. Yes, said the group. They then departed from the office. Before Tsunade left, Jiraiya turned to face him and smiled warmly. When the group left the office, Jiraiya said, okay, you guys go get your stuff and we'll meet in the front of the village. Jiraiya was already waiting patiently at the front of the village, so they all went to get their equipment and headed there. As they arrived, Jiraiya informed the group, if we hurry, it will take us about 2 days to reach Orochimaru's hideout. Let's move out. We won't have a formation yet until we get to the border of Fire Country. Sakura and Yugito were at the rear, and Jiraiya and Naruto were at the front. Although they were close to one another, they were far enough away to be unable to hear one another's conversation. It appeared as though Jiraiya and Naruto were conversing. Sakura chose to break the strange silence that had been between her and Yugito. So I guess you were the one who got Naruto out of that sore-looking outfit, she said, glancing at Yugito's nearly identical outfit to Naruto's. Yugito responded, yes, but it took a long time for him to leave that orange jacket and orange pants. I kept bugging him about his outfit and told him to change it, but he never listened. He changed it after we went on a B-class mission. Sakura asked, what happened? Well, it was a stealthy mission and long story short, the enemy noticed Naruto's jacket when we were hiding. It was only a very small part, but he noticed it. That almost costs us our lives. The next day Naruto asked Sensei for some different clothes. Yugito responded. Because Yugito didn't know Sakura well yet, she decided not to tell her that her clothes weren't stealthy either. So what do you really think of Naruto since it's only me and you now without Ino around? Yugito replied to Sakura. Yugito responded, to tell you the truth, he doesn't talk to me much, he talks more with our sensei. Sakura said, you must be kidding, is Naruto really that different now? No, I'm not, I can't put my finger on it, but it seems like he tries to avoid me. I don't know why. The first day that we met he seemed open, but after that day it seemed that he shut himself out. We would talk often and a lot, but not anything of importance, just chit-chat, Yugito replied. After this mission, Sakura thought, I'm going to beat Naruto. Well, he's pretty strong like I said before. We're about even when we spar or train, Yugito went on. Whoa, if this girl is even with Naruto, she's strong. Sakura reasoned that since Naruto is on par with Kakashi, this girl must also be close to that level. Sakura asked her, so do you like him? Of course, he's my teammate. I have to like my teammate to be able to work with them, replied Yugito. With a, you know what I mean, Sakura addressed her. Yugito thought, not again. Sakura was told by Yugito, I was trained not to have emotions towards other people. Sakura simply gave her an odd look. You're his teammate also, so what do you think of him since Ino isn't here now also? was the question Yugito asked Sakura in an attempt to change the topic. When I first met him, I can't deny that I didn't like him. I was more interested in Sasuke since he was the best ninja and most handsome boy in the class. I didn't treat Naruto like a normal person. He used to bug me a lot and would always try to get me to go on a date with him, Sakura said in a mournful tone. Yugito scowled at this point because Naruto always spoke well of his former teammate. In the same dejected tone, Sakura responded, I wish that I could take that back, but it's a part of my past and I can't, upon noticing Yugito's expression. There are a lot of good qualities about him though. He's a person who keeps their promises no matter what. I think that's the best personality trait in him. He's also very caring for the few friends that he have. I know he wouldn't hesitate to give his life to any of them, Sakura continued in an upbeat manner. Does Naruto view me as a teammate or a friend? When Sakura said that he would sacrifice himself for his friends, Yugito pondered. What about yours and his former teammate, Sasuke? Naruto doesn't like to talk about him much, Yugito replied to Sakura. I think that Naruto doesn't talk about him much is because it was one of the mission that he has failed. Not only that, he feels like he failed to save his friend from a disaster, Sakura responded. But to answer your question, Sasuke is a cocky and very prideful person. I think this was because he was the #1 rookie in our class. I think that's one of the reasons why he went to Orochimaru, Sakura replied. Yugito asked, why do you think that? And asked her to go on. Well, at first Naruto was way below Sasuke in skill level and Sasuke didn't care about him much. But, as time passed Naruto became stronger and stronger while Sasuke felt like he wasn't improving as much as Naruto. I think he somehow felt inferior to Naruto and left to get more power from Orochimaru. I know it's real stupid for Naruto to blame himself, but he felt that it was partially his fault for Sasuke's betrayal, Sakura continued. Naruto therefore believed that Sasuke's visit to Orochimaru was partly his fault. Naruto, why do you have such a dim perspective on the world? Yugito reasoned that Sasuke had left because he wanted to, not because you forced him to. Sakura went on, I can see why Naruto wasn't as strong as Sasuke in the beginning. I mean, Naruto didn't even have a family to teach him anything while Sasuke came from an elite ninja family which taught him before he was even in the academy. Naruto didn't have a family. He never told me that, Yugito told Sakura. Sakura, you and your big mouth are so stupid. Sakura reflected, well, you can't take that back now. Yes, Naruto never knew his family. He was raised by an orphanage until he was old enough to join the academy. Yugito thought it was no surprise that his house was so small. Their conversation went on until almost dusk. Jiraiya remarked, we should rest here, as they approached the Fire Country border. Naruto caught some fish by the stream, and they cooked it while erecting 2 tents. It was about 10 o'clock when Jiraiya said, I'll take the first shift of look out. Naruto will take the second shift. Yugito you take the third shift while Sakura will take the fourth. Each shift will be 2 hours and we'll leave at 6 o'clock sharp tomorrow. Okay, get your sleep now. At that point, the 2 girls went to one tent and Naruto went to the other. Jiraiya sensed someone approaching while he was perched on a branch close to the top of the tree. He wasn't concerned because it was a familiar chakra. He had already been on duty for approximately 1 hour and 30 minutes. What is it, Naruto? Naruto sat down beside Jiraiya. Hey, Arrow. Senin, what's the chance of us accomplishing this mission? He said, I don't know Naruto, not wanting Naruto to know that he knew a lot about Orochimaru and Sasuke. He recalled Tsunade telling him that she had lied to Naruto about Sasuke in order to protect him, but it wasn't because he didn't want to tell Naruto. If he was aware of Orochimaru and Sasuke's strength, it would seem a little strange. I know you know. I also already knew that Chan knew Snake Man's location before I even went back to Konoha, Naruto stated to his sensei. What makes you think that? Jiraiya asked, continuing to act as though he was unaware. Many reasons. 1. Chan mostly likely got her information on Snake Man from you. Going by how easy you keep tabs on Akatsuki, it'll be pretty easy for you to also keep a tab on your old friend. 2. The reason why I didn't bug her more about it was because I knew Chan was just worried about my safety. I figure the 2 months delay was just extra time for you to figure out the locations of Akatsuki in case they were close to me. 3. You guys must have more information because she knows that I would never forgive her if something happened to Sasuke and somehow I find out she already knew the location of Snake Man's hideout. So I think it would be better if we were straight with each other, Naruto continued. When did Naruto become such a skilled analyst? Has he truly matured to the point where he doesn't want to ask Tsunade the truth when he knows she's lying? Is it not possible for him to simply return to the Naruto who didn't question such things? Jiraiya pondered. First, I wonder if it was Kaito who taught you these analyzation skills. Yes. He would let me lead sometimes during missions. Unless my command was totally dangerous or something that would put our team's life in danger, we would follow my commands without question. After the mission was over, Kaito Sensei would suggest things and strategies that would have been better, Naruto replied. Did you know I almost pounded his face the first time we did this? When we got back to his house, I thought that I did real well because he didn't correct anything while we were on the mission. But when we reached the house he told me all the errors that I made. I got real mad at him, not because he told me my errors, but because he saw them while we were doing the mission and didn't correct it right there. This was what I actually said to him. You put our team in danger just so I can improve my analyzation skills. To my surprise he just laughed and said that I was going to be a great leader. He told me that I cared for safety of the group and that's what a good leader should do. He mentioned that I should not worry because unless it puts the team in real jeopardy then it's okay. It's all part of learning. Another thing that he'll let me do is analyze mission reports. Some of the missions were pretty vague. He would let me analyze the mission request to see what I thought of it. Many clients know that if they reported what would really happen the mission would be a higher class so they just put in vague deceptions. They want it to be marked at a lower rank so they won't have to pay that much, kind of my first C-class mission, Naruto stated to Jiraiya. Jiraiya smiled and said, I told him to teach you taijutsu, not analysis skills also. Okay, I'll tell you the truth. Yes, Tsunade already knew the location of Orochimaru's hideout before you went back to Konoha. Your other assumption is also correct. The 2-month delay was to give me time to figure out the location of Akatsuki before Tsunade let you go and rescue Sasuke. As for the third one, Orochimaru won't be taking Sasuke's body for another 3 months or so, Jiraiya replied. Why's that? I thought he could take him already, Naruto replied. Technically he could, but he wants Sasuke to be a more permanent vessel and for that to happen the curse seal has to take full effect. I think Sasuke has a couple of months before he's completely under the control of the seal, Jiraiya replied to his pupil. Naruto asked him, so, back to my first question. What are our chances of accomplishing this mission? Orochimaru and me are about the same level. Sasuke is about your level and Kabuto is about Kakashi's level, which is around your level. Yugito is also about your level so I say it can go either way, though it favors them a little bit more, Jiraiya told him. It's because you know I won't try to kill Sasuke, am I correct? Replied Naruto. Yes, because you won't use your full force to fight Sasuke. This could be bad. We don't know if Sasuke will hold back when fighting you. He might, but I highly doubt it. He's been under the curse seal for so long, Jiraiya replied to him. Naruto's statement, is it also because of Sakura? Was more of a remark than a query. Yes, that also. Having Sakura on the team can go two ways. One, she'll be a big help to us because we have another person and a healer, or two, they can use her as bait or hostage, Jiraiya replied. Jiraiya then descended to a lower branch and said, Tsunade also told me that she's a Junin, but isn't as strong as any of the elite Junins yet, so I don't know if she has the strength to compete with them. Alright, nice talking to you Naruto, but I got to get some sleep and it's your shift now, Jiraiya said to him. Jiraiya went to the tent after descending the tree. Everyone was already up and getting ready at 5:30. In a small group, everyone was waiting for Jiraiya to give them instructions. Okay, here's the formation. I will lead since it'll be easier for me to give out orders when I'm in the front. Sakura, you will be behind me since you're the medic of the team. We need to protect you the most. Naruto, you will be behind Sakura because need to get to Sakura as fast as possible if they decide to attack her. You are stronger than Yugito and can take a hit for Sakura if needed, so you need closer to her. Yugito can cover the back since she's a little faster than you, Naruto. Okay, got the formation. The group nodded. When we get there I will face Orochimaru while Naruto will face Sasuke and Yugito will face Kabuto. Don't worry about not looking at his eyes. To my knowledge Orochimaru hasn't taught Sasuke how to cast genjutsu through his eyes. Mainly because he doesn't know how, and I don't think Sasuke had time trying to figure it out yet. Yugito, even though Kabuto is a medical nin, don't let that fool you. He has many tricks up his sleeve. He uses chakra blades to cut your muscles. Sakura, you try to avoid the fight as much as possible until you see one of us injured. If you're injured then we have no way of healing ourselves. If worst comes to worst then you will have to join the fight also. If Tsunade was a good teacher she would have taught you a lot of dodging skills and at least some taijutsu skills. Jiraiya told the group. They all acknowledged that they understood him by nodding once more. We will probably reach the base near sunset. Move out, Jiraiya stated. In the hopes of avoiding any enemy shinobis, they set out westward. Fortunately, they didn't. By the time they arrived at Orochimaru's hiding place, it was sunset. According to Naruto, the hideout only had a man-sized hole in the ground and didn't really look like a hideout. He was questioned by Naruto, "Hey, Arrow. Senin, are you sure this is the place?" "Well, it is a hideout, right? He's not going to have some board stating, Orochimaru's hideout, welcome all." "Yes, I'm sure this is the place. I'll go first," Jiraiya told his pupil. Naruto followed Jiraiya as she crawled into the tiny hole. It could only hold one person at a time due to its extreme smallness. He discovered that he could fully stand up after he had passed through the hole. It resembled a cave almost exactly. Even though it was pitch black, Naruto could feel that the roof was roughly 8 feet high and that the sides were only 4 feet wide because he could touch them with his outstretched hand. The fit was extremely tight. Additionally, the pathway was not straight. Roughly every 5 feet, it turned 45 degrees. Naruto supposes this was done to facilitate escape. There were numerous options for directions after roughly 5 minutes of walking. 6 directions were given. Naruto said in a tiny voice so that no one else could hear, "Which way now, Arrow? Senin?" Jiraiya gestured toward the left door. Then they all follow him. After roughly 10 minutes of walking along this path, they entered a large room. This room was also dark, but it was illuminated by snake-shaped candlesticks that held tiny flames. The room measured roughly 20 feet from top to bottom and 50 feet across. From the opposite side of the room, 3 footsteps were heard. Before them came 3 men. Orochimaru was positioned in the center, with Kabuto to his right. In 3 years, not much has changed. They continued to dress in the same manner. Zombie-like, Sasuke stood on Orochimaru's left side. He became slightly taller and wore a long, sleeved white shirt with an open middle. He tied a light purple rope at his side to support his dark purple pants. With an evil smile, Orochimaru told Jiraiya, "Kukuku, if it isn't my old teammate, and look, he brought Naruto-kun and 2 girls. Naruto-kun, I really have to thank you and Kakashi. Without yours and Kakashi's help, Sasuke would never have come to me this early. When he saw you improving and passing him, he couldn't stand it how it did. Last like you could surpass him. I have to thank Kakashi for putting that seal on him. He didn't realize that the level 2 curse seal actually takes over his brain until I took Kakashi's seal off. After your fight with him, he never tried to use the curse seal again, but the damage was already done. Once a person uses the level 2 curse seal even once, it'll start taking over their body," said. "Come on, Sasuke. I don't want to fight you," Naruto told him. "Shut up, Snake Man. He won't respond to you, Naruto-kun. The curse seal has already affected his body too much. He only listens to me now. The only thing I can't make him do is use the curse seal, but it doesn't matter, I can wait," Orochimaru told Naruto. "You know, Naruto-kun, if you let me take Sasuke, I can help you take care of your other problem also. I also don't want them having power, you know," Orochimaru told Naruto. Yugito wanted to know what Orochimaru was discussing. "Like, I'll believe that. Wouldn't it be easier just to come for me after taking Sasuke's body?" Naruto responded. Orochimaru chuckled. Well, looks like you also improved your intelligence. Where did you learn this? It couldn't have been from Jiraiya." Upon concluding his statement, Orochimaru extended his long tongue and encircled Sasuke's body, caressing it without choking him. The tongue continued to circle Sasuke until it came to rest close to his belly button. Orochimaru then threatened to descend into Sasuke's pants by moving his tongue lower and lower until it was nearly in them. Sasuke was twitching and clearly unhappy with the experience, but he was unable to get out of Naruto's way. Naruto hurried to Orochimaru because he could take no more. Jiraiya yelled, "Naruto, not yet," but it was too late. Naruto was gone already. With a "Sasuke, Kabuto, now," Orochimaru spoke. With haste, Kabuto formed his chakra blades and attempted to strike Sakura. Fortunately, Sakura managed to avoid it just in time. Then Yugito intervened between Sakura and Kabuto. Orochimaru swiftly pulled his tongue away from Sasuke and began to extend his neck in order to bite Naruto as he ran in their direction. He felt a strong kick as he approached Naruto, which caused his neck to return to its normal length. Jiraiya said to him, "Forget about me already, old friend." Orochimaru said to Sasuke, "You look after your old friend, Sasuke-kun, and I'll look after my old friend." He then began fighting with Jiraiya. Sasuke and Naruto were staring at one another. "Come on, Sasuke, snap out of it," Naruto urged him. Naruto was surrounded by a large flame as Sasuke ignored him and simply used his Sharingan to perform some hand seals. Saryundo Kawan, surrounding flame. It extended to the cave's ceiling and was roughly 2 feet wide. He was getting smaller and smaller as it began to close in on him. As he performed some hand seals, Naruto yelled, "Gogyu Shoheki, water barrier." Naruto was instantly encircled by a bubble of water. Although Naruto was aware that this jutsu would not withstand the flame, it would mitigate the harm. Naruto could feel the temperature rising as the flame drew nearer. Naruto had no choice but to leap through the flame. When his water bubble touched the flame, it instantly disappeared. Fortunately, Naruto wasn't badly burned because the jutsu reduced the damage. Naruto reflected, "I suppose I have no choice but to fight him." In front of him, Sasuke was still in his zombie pose, some 15 feet away. "My absolute darkness method isn't working. I'm not sure if Sakura can fight in the dark, but I know that Yugito, Arrow, Sennin, and I can. I would be endangering Sakura because I'm fairly certain that Sasuke, Snake, Man, and Glasses can fight in the dark as well." Having made up his mind, Naruto began to perform hand seals and uttered the words, "Kage Sheizu, Shadow Images." 4 shadow images materialized directly on top of Naruto. It appeared as though he was putting himself through a trial as he hurried over to Sasuke. Sasuke was taken aback by the pictures, and Naruto struck him in the stomach with a right hook while he was shocked. Sasuke was so hurt by this that he collapsed to his knees, clutching his stomach. It was the most painful punch he had ever experienced. Standing before Sasuke, Naruto said, "Sasuke, I know somewhere you're still in there, just fight the curse." Sasuke attempted a sweeping kick with his right leg as he was saying this, but Naruto leapt back 10 feet before it could make contact. Once more, Naruto assumed his fighting stance. He moved swiftly to Sasuke's left side and tried to kick Sasuke in the face with a left roundhouse kick. Sasuke avoided his attack this time, which was not surprising. Naruto threw his right hand at Sasuke's chest after he had recovered, but Sasuke deflected it with his right forearm. The impact nearly caused Sasuke's bone to shatter. "I should just avoid his attacks because they hurt too much to block." After blocking Naruto's attack, Sasuke saw an opening and kicked him in the stomach with a straight right, sending him 5 feet back. Without waiting for Naruto to recover, Sasuke charged at him and gave his chin a right uppercut. He kicked Naruto's right kneecap with a quick left to the side. Naruto fell a little to his right as a result. Then Sasuke used his right leg to stomp behind Naruto's kneecap. Naruto continued to fall as a result. He landed a leaping right knee in Naruto's face to end the assault. After the knee, Naruto collapsed to his hands, but he was aware that he would experience more pain if he did not act quickly. He rolled forward to avoid Sasuke's kick to the stomach. Naruto got to his feet and cleaned his mouth of the blood. They were now waiting for the other to attack, a few feet apart in their fighting stance. Naruto thought, "This jutsu drains my chakra, so I have to attack." Kage Bunshin. 2 shadow clones appeared at Naruto's side as he crossed his fingers. 4 shadow images were also with them. When the clones attempted to attack Sasuke, he leapt 20 feet away and raised his arms in Naruto's direction. Out of nowhere, 5 snakes emerged from each of Sasuke's still attached sleeves. They went for Naruto right away after hitting the clones. He flipped to the side and avoided them. Sensing that they were approaching from behind, Naruto performed a backflip, causing the snake to miss its target. Sasuke pulled his snake hands back. He raised his arms once more and aimed his snake hands at Naruto, attempting to strike him from every side this time. Fortunately, Naruto was accustomed to being attacked from all directions and was able to avoid Sasuke's snake hand attack. Now that he was on the defensive and keeping his shadow images on would be consuming his chakra, Naruto dispelled them. He continued to avoid Sasuke's snake hand attack, but he discovered that it was now difficult to approach Sasuke. "It's difficult to get close to him right now. What can I do? I understand." With his left hand, he seized one of the snakes and tugged as firmly as he could. Sasuke flew directly toward him as a result. Then he used his right hand to punch Sasuke in the nose. Sasuke was 5 feet away from him when the hit was delivered. Naruto was punished for briefly forgetting about the other snakes. Naruto was encircled by the other 9 snakes. His body was bound together by snakes, one around his throat, one around each arm, one around each leg, and more. After cleaning his nose of the blood, Sasuke stood up and grinned and said, "Finally got you." Despite being choked, Naruto managed to say in a low voice, "So you can talk." He continued to squeeze the single snake he was holding in his left hand. Using all of his left hand's strength and leverage, he pulled. When Sasuke approached, Naruto struck him in the forehead. Sasuke lost his snake hold on Naruto as a result. "Naruto, don't you get it? I need power," Sasuke told him. "I don't want to be saved." Even though Naruto heard what Sasuke said, It didn't seem like Sasuke was speaking. You're still under his curse, Sasuke. I know you don't want to be controlled by him. You don't know what I want, Naruto. Just leave me. I have business to take care of and you're in my way, Sasuke responded. I'll leave when I beat you up and take you back to Konoha with me, Naruto replied. After performing a few hand seals, Sasuke exclaimed, Kikon Kanmei, mirror confusion. He then reached behind him and used his right hand to remove a kunai. He dashed over to Naruto and used the kunai to cut Naruto's neck. As the kunai approached the left side of Naruto's neck, he thought, something's wrong. To his better judgment, Naruto leapt to his left, directly at the kunai, just as it was about to strike him. He felt a deep cut on the right side of his neck, just missing his vein, as he leapt to his left. Very good, Naruto, you used your judgment instead of your eyes. You also remembered that I was left-handed, said Sasuke. Kai, said Naruto. He held the wound on his neck and said, so, that was just for a quick kill. Yes, I told you to leave. If you don't, I'll use all that I have to kill you and I won't hesitate, Sasuke stated to him. In response, Naruto said, you'll have to kill me then. After a few hand seals, he shouted, Nenshu Surara, burning icicles. 20 icicles materialized in front of Naruto and began shooting at Sasuke. Sasuke was impaled by an icicle on his right shoulder and right thigh because it was too quick for him to avoid them all. Sasuke instantly experienced a simultaneous feeling of burning and freezing. Sasuke went to his knees. When he attempted to remove the icicle with his left hand, it burned his hands as well. He was nearly unable to remove his hands from the ice. By the second, Sasuke could feel the chill creeping through his body. He was aware that failing to remove the icicles would result in his death. Once more concentrating, Sasuke pulled hard and quickly, tearing the icicle and some muscle tissue from his right shoulder. With the icicle affixed to his right leg, he followed suit. Blood poured from his right thigh and shoulder. The icicles still chilled his body. Naruto told Sasuke, it's over, you can't use your right hand or right leg anymore. When Naruto heard Sakura say, no, he turned to his right. About 20 feet away from them, he saw Yugito pushing Sakura away from Kabuto's attack. Kabuto's chakra knives struck Yugito in the stomach. She dropped to the ground. He turned to see the Jiraiya lying on the ground, roughly 10 feet away from Sakura and Yugito, severely battered. Orochimaru suffered minor injuries. He was ahead of Jiraiya by 5 feet. Naruto neglected his team because he was too preoccupied with his battle with Sasuke. At that moment, he witnessed Sakura land 5 feet away from Jiraiya after Kabuto kicked her. My, if she hadn't been here, I don't know if I could have gotten you. That's why you guys are so weak, always protecting the weak. Kabuto returned to Yugito, who was still on the ground. He lifted his hand and touched her lower legs and upper arms. Kabuto grinned and remarked, I can do anything I want with you now that you can't move, but I think I'll just kill you quickly. He lifted his right hand once more and struck her chest. He was just about to connect when Naruto materialized in front of them, enclosing Yugito in his body. Using his chakra knives, Kabuto was able to strike Naruto in the back rather than Yugito. As he was struck, Naruto spat out some blood. Oh, Naruto-kun, you too. I didn't know you were these types of weaklings. You almost had Sasuke back there, but instead you came to the help of your teammate, Kabuto told Naruto. Before Naruto could heal, he swiftly used his chakra knives to cut his legs and upper arm. Kabuto spoke loudly enough for Orochimaru to hear. Orochimaru. Sama, do you want to say anything to Naruto-kun before he dies? When Orochimaru heard Kabuto's words, he was on the verge of killing Jiraiya. When he heard Kabuto, he was clutching Jiraiya's shirt. Orochimaru let go of Jiraiya and walked slowly in the direction of Naruto and Yugito, saying, Kukakuku. Good job, Kabuto. Hold on, don't kill him yet, I want him to die by Sasuke's hands so that he'll have the Mangekyo Sharingan when I transfer into him. Orochimaru mockingly remarked, well, Naruto-kun, it looks like you failed again, as he stood in front of Naruto, who was still standing atop Yugito, shielding and cradling her in his arms. Orochimaru uttered the words, oh how sweet, you two will die together. About 20 seconds later, he turned to see Sasuke still kneeling to his right. Sasuke slowly got up and hobbled to the location of Orochimaru, Kabuto, Naruto, and Yugito, saying, Sasuke-kun, come over here and kill Naruto. He was roughly 3 feet behind Kabuto, standing by Orochimaru. Nearly crying, Yugito asked her teammate, why Naruto? Why did you protect me? If you hadn't done that you could have saved yourself and maybe even finished the mission. Naruto rarely noticed any emotion in his teammate's eyes until this moment. I never want to see an important friend die in front of me. Naruto stumbled to say. looking down at his teammate. Finishing a mission is not as important as a friend's life. Sasuke twitched a little when he said that. Memories rushed back into his head. He shielded Naruto from Haku during that period. The moment he attempted to shield Sakura from Gaara. How can Naruto be saved? I am unable to use Nibi at all. If I am immobile, what good is chakra? Yugito pondered. The pain in her stomach caused her to pass out while she was thinking this. Kabuto told Sasuke, I see that you're hurt, Sasuke-kun. Let me heal you. He then used his icicle to heal the wound that Naruto had caused. Kabuto turned back to Yugito and Naruto. Enough of this. Sasuke, kill Naruto now, Orochimaru commanded. Then, like 1,000 birds, there was a loud crackling sound as Sasuke began to gather chakra in his left. His left hand began to radiate lightning. Chidori, shouted Sasuke. He drove the Chidori straight through Kabuto's heart and back. A tiny drop of Kabuto's blood landed on Naruto. Let's see you heal from that, glasses, he said with a sly smile. In order to release his left hand from Kabuto's back, Sasuke kicked Kabuto's body. Blood was gushing from pints after Sasuke kicked Kabuto's hand off. With a loud thud, Kabuto fell to the ground. Orochimaru addressed Sasuke, saying, Well Sasuke-kun, looks like you broke out of the curse seal. Does the boy mean that much to you? It was Orochimaru's fault. For the first time in many years, Sasuke felt in control of his own body once more. The entire 3-year period was a blur. He had the impression that he was watching everything unfold from the backseat of his body, powerless to stop it. It was as if he had been born again. Naruto said, Sasuke, in a feeble voice. Sasuke informed him, You've done your part, Naruto, and I'll take care of this one. Then Orochimaru laughed and said, Did I hear you right? Take care of me? Even though you were my most precious vessel, it seems that you've broken yourself free from my curse seal and therefore you are no longer important to me. Looks like I have no choice but to kill you, Orochimaru stated to Sasuke. Naruto was immediately the target of Orochimaru's snake tongue. Its mouth opened to reveal the Kusanagi as the tongue approached. Before the sword could stab Naruto, Sasuke used his right hand to grab the snake's neck. Using his left hand, he withdrew the sword from the snake's mouth. If I were you, Orochimaru told Sasuke, I wouldn't do that. Sasuke warned Orochimaru, Do what? I'm going to kill you with this sword. Sasuke's left hand started to hurt at that very moment. After his left hand was electrocuted by the sword, he threw it 10 feet away from them in a quick reaction to the shock. Orochimaru said, I told you that I am the only one who can wield that sword. He leapt for the sword as he said that. Orochimaru regained his sword when Sasuke, who was also following him, took a step too slowly. He is aware of every move I make, so I'm not sure if I can defeat him. He turned to see Jiraiya and Sakura standing behind Orochimaru. He was shocked to discover that the frog Sennin was still alive. In fact, Sakura was healing Jiraiya. Orochimaru forgot about his old teammate entirely. To keep Orochimaru from noticing Jiraiya, I had to keep him occupied. We might have a chance to defeat him if I can accomplish that. Fortunately, I haven't expended a lot of chakra fighting Naruto. I was just hurt by Naruto, but Kabuto fixed it for me. Despite his intense struggle, Naruto could already feel some movement in his arms. His arms and legs were already being healed by the Kyuubi's healing factor. His hands moved, but his legs were still immobile. To find out where the fighting was happening, he glanced behind him. He noticed that Sasuke was lagging behind Orochimaru. He must act quickly or Sasuke will perish. Then, Naruto turned his head slightly to face Jiraiya. Sakura was busy healing Jiraiya, and he could see it. Orochimaru will have to wait for Jiraiya to recover. He told himself, Okay, Naruto, pay attention. You can't miss this. After a few hand seals, Naruto declared, Raiko Chubyu, lightning paralysis. Orochimaru was instantly encircled by a tiny lightning barrier that was hardly larger than a man. When Orochimaru saw what the jutsu was, he turned to face Naruto and said, What a troublesome thing. I never thought you this move, Sasuke. Oh I see, it was Naruto-kun. It doesn't matter, I'll be released in about 5 minutes anyways. You can escape while you can Sasuke. Never will I abandon my friends to perish, Sasuke assured the snake, Sennin. Really, then his jutsu was used for nothing, the laughing Orochimaru replied. The voice behind Orochimaru's back was familiar. It wasn't used for escape. It was used for time, the voice said. It's you Jiraiya. I forgot about you. I should have killed you back there, but I was too happy about the thought of having the Mangekyo Sharingan, Jiraiya replied. In response, Jiraiya said, That's one mistake that you will regret. Orochimaru said, I guess I'll just beat you again, to his old teammate. That's if I don't end things while you're still stuck in this barrier, Jiraiya replied. Don't try to scare my Jiraiya. Physical attacks won't reach me. Also, chakra can't get in or out while the jutsu is still in effect. As soon as it's lifted I'll kill you, Orochimaru grinned. Who says I was using physical attack or a chakra attack? Jiraiya replied. A white demon materialized behind Jiraiya as he performed a hand-seal sequence that Orochimaru had seen before and uttered the words, Shikafujin, dead demon imprisonment. 2 horns protruded from the top of its head, and it had long, white hair. It covered its entire body with a long robe. It held a sword between its teeth. For the first time during the battle, Orochimaru's eyes filled with fear. What are you planning on doing dead? Last. I will take you this time, my friend, Jiraiya told Orochimaru. I'm finishing what our sensei couldn't do. He asked his former teammate, where did you get that technique? Come on, my student invented the technique. Our teacher learned it from him and you think that one of them wouldn't teach me? Jiraiya responded. Now, Orochimaru feared for his life. Don't you know what that jutsu does? Don't you know that we'll both die, you fool, not just me? Jiraiya said, yes, of course I know, to him. The death god stabbed his hands forward at that precise moment. From Jiraiya's stomach a hand emerged. It passed through the barrier without incident. Jiraiya said, old friend, you can't get away right now. The only thing the Orochimaru could say was, let me go, you fool. Naruto begged Jiraiya to release the jutsu, saying, what are you doing, sensei? No, that wasn't the plan. Let's fight him together. I'm almost healed, we can win. His response to his pupil was, no, Naruto, this is the only way. No, please don't go, shouted Naruto. Orochimaru's soul was now being gradually dragged away by the death god. We'll be seeing all our old friends again, Shodem, Naidame, Sandame, and Yondaime. Since we'll be spending an eternity together, I might even write some novels for you to read, Jiraiya stated to Orochimaru. Orochimaru's voice was panicked as he said, I don't care about those old geezers and especially your stupid novels. Let me go, Jiraiya. I guess this is good. Bye, kid. So you finally called me sensei. Jiraiya grinned as he turned to face Naruto. You've grown up to be a strong shinobi and I want you to know that I'm proud of you. I have one piece of advice left to you before I leave. Live life with no regrets. No, you can't go, bellowed Naruto. As soon as he finished speaking, the death god withdrew Orochimaru's soul and slashed it with his sword. Jiraiya thought, funny how life is. Even though I don't believe in superstition, it's pretty ironic that Team 13 should fall on the day that Team 7 reunites, just before the death god slashed Orochimaru's soul. With that, he grinned. Jiraiya and Orochimaru both fell simultaneously. Naruto's legs weren't fully healed, so he let go of his jutsu and crawled toward Jiraiya with his hands. He put his ears to Jiraiya's heart to listen for a heartbeat and shook his sensei's shoulder, saying, come on, Arrow. Senin, stop playing. You can't be dead, you just can't be. When there was no heartbeat, Naruto's heart fell. Sakura emerged from behind him. Naruto, we have to go. Yugito is still injured internally from her stomach and we don't know if she'll make it, we have to hurry. Naruto said to Sasuke in a worried tone, Sasuke, since you're the one with the fewest injuries, you take Yugito to the hospital as fast as you can. I'll carry Jiraiya. Sasuke picked Yugito up in a bridal position right away and proceeded to the door from which Naruto and they had come. Sakura helped Naruto up by putting his arm around her head. His voice was sad as he said, you carry Sensei Sakura. I can't leave him in a place like this. I can manage walking on my own, to Sakura. Although he knew he could manage, he could hardly stand. Sakura and Naruto traveled to Konoha for 4 days. Naruto was hurt on the first day, so they hardly made any progress, but by the second day, he was nearly recovered. They still took a little longer because they had Jiraiya's body to carry. We should leave him here. I'll go tell Tsunade what happened and then we'll come back. I don't want a huge commotion because we brought Jiraiya back, Naruto said to Sakura as they approached the gates. He was about to say, dead, but he was unable to do so. Sakura simply nodded her head, knowing this. He leapt onto the rooftops as soon as he entered through the front gate. As he made his way to Hokage Tower, he bounded from house to house. What am I going to tell Ba-chan? Naruto thought, sorry, but your teammate is dead. This thought made him want to pass out. When he arrived at Tsunade's office, he opened it. He was shocked to find Tsunade absent. Shizune was the one instead. With his eyes fixed on the ground, Naruto asked, Shizune-chan, where is Ba-chan? Sorry Naruto, she's not here right now. Tsunade is on a mission right now. She'll be back in 2 days or so. You can tell me what happened during the mission, Naruto, she told him. Hokage go on missions? She was asked by Naruto. Of course they go on missions, Naruto. That's why they have assistants so that they can cover for them while they're gone, she replied to Naruto. Naruto said to Shizune, I suppose I'll wait until she came back. He then walked out and shut the door. He didn't dislike Shizune or harbor mistrust for her. Shizune was actually one of the shinobi he could rely on. He simply believed that Tsunade ought to be the first to learn of her teammates' passing. He returned to Sakura and informed her of the situation. If you're not going to tell Shizune yet, we have to do something about Jiraiya-sama's body, Sakura said to Naruto. I'll build a casket so we can house his body there for the meantime, Naruto stated to her. He constructed 2 buncheons to construct the casket as he flew to the hospital, saying, I've also got to do something right now. Sasuke was still waiting for them at the hospital when he arrived. Konoha was reached by Sasuke 2 days ago. Knowing that the hospital would be among the first places Naruto would visit upon his return, he waited for him there. When Sasuke returned, he didn't even announce his arrival. He didn't visit or report to any of his old friends at Hokage Tower. Prior to all of that, he wanted to see Naruto. She's alright, Naruto. She wasn't badly injured. The doctors said that she would be okay by tomorrow, Sasuke informed him. All Naruto could say was, what room? Go down the hall and make a left. It's the 5th room on your right. Oh, and I told her about Jiraiya-sama because she was on the mission also, so I hope you didn't mind me telling her, replied Sasuke. After giving a nod, Naruto hurried to the room and noticed Yugito awake. She said, hey, as he entered. Hey, he responded. There was silence for a while. At the moment, Yugito was at a loss for words when speaking to Naruto. She was aware of his internal pain. Knowing how close Naruto was to him, Sasuke told her what had happened to Jiraiya. When the silence was broken, Naruto said, I just came to see if you're alright. I'm okay. They say that I should stay in bed for another day, but I think I'll probably leave the hospital today. What about you? She said. I'm fine. Since I know you're okay, I'll let you get your rest, Yugito. You can go to my house whenever you feel like it, she heard Naruto say. He heard Yugito's voice as he was leaving the room. Yugito asked him, are you sure you're okay, Naruto? I'm here, you know. After a moment, he said, I'm sure, Yugito, you should get some rest now. He then shut the door.
That's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this great story. See you in the next one.